Everyday practical conversations that you'll actually use. All you need is 15 minutes a day, and you'll be on your way to confidently speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel is designed by real language experts using a modern, conversation-based technique that makes learning fun, engaging, and best of all, memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then sentences gradually get more complex. Soon you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. And with 14 languages to choose from and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll be sure to learn what matters most to you. Babbel, language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Jackson Hewitt needs you to know 3 things about filing taxes this year. 1, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table. 2, you have to file for them to make sure you get the right amount. 3, a Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help track down every credit you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, going to school, and so much more. You don't want to miss out on thousands. Jackson Hewitt knows that. Discover thousands in tax credits and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive contains B-complex vitamins and alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort. Learn more at nervivehealth.com.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Justice Winslow and Keon Johnson to the Portland Trailblazers for Norman Powell and Robert Covington. 9 games on the NBA schedule on this Friday night, including the 76ers and Mavericks in Dallas, tip 10 p.m. Eastern on ESPN television. James Harden not in the lineup tonight for the Nets. They're on the road to face the Utah Jazz. Nets have dropped 6 in a row. Harden is going to miss tonight's game with left hamstring tightness. Duke in North Carolina, tip 6 p.m. Eastern Saturday night on ESPN. Jay Billis on Coach K's final visit to Chapel Hill.
And all the players know it. Everybody knows this is the biggest game you play in. And outside of a championship game, an NCAA championship game, Final Four thing, which carries a different kind of significance, this is the game where you're remembered how you performed in the Duke-Carolina rivalry. Everybody remembers it, and it's bigger than anything else that they do, and he knows that.
ESPN college basketball analyst Jay Billis on Get Up. Major League Baseball Players Association rejecting MLB's request for federal mediator to enter into labor negotiations. The request was made by Major League Baseball on Thursday.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
There ain't nothing wrong with applying pressure. Pressure can burst pipes, right?
Or it can make diamonds.
So what is it going to be, Mike McCarthy?
This and more, Monday, starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Greene. That's Greene. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on now to ESPNABL.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome into ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are in the Ingalls studio, The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, and of course seen live on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get in on the chat on the YouTube stream. It is a Friday, thankfully, and we have a lot to celebrate. There's a lot to celebrate. The Jacksonville Jaguars finally have a new head coach.
That's not something to celebrate. You're doing
Come
it
on.
wrong.
Two-time Super Bowl winner comes in to be the new head coach of the
Two-time Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, he got a ring in 1996 as the third-string quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, baby. Two-time Super Bowl champion. Doug Pederson gets the job with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course, we'll talk about that. Jeremy has cobbled together all of his coaching grades for the hires that have been made and the possible hires that are coming up. We'll get into that
There's
in a
very
second
good,
hour.
and there's very bad.
Uh-huh.
And there's one that might be the lowest grade I've ever given ever to anything.
Lowest grade possible and then some. Did you give it a Z?
I should have given it an R. F is not good enough. You know, we need to come up with what that grade would be.
Worse than an F?
What is the worst thing in the history of sports that could be the grade for what one team gets for their coaching hire?
The butt
YouTube
fumble.
comments. I will punch you right in the throat. We're past that. We have done many funny things since then.
Uh-huh.
Still the worst day of my life by quite a deal. Quite a great deal.
Mm-hmm. Makes your foot hurt, don't it?
It does. It does a lot, actually.
The All-Star game in the NBA, the rosters have been announced, and a lot of people in this area very upset that there is no representation from the Charlotte Hornets. So we'll talk about NBA All-Star snubs coming up in the second hour as well. Jeremy will have all his picks for the night in the Green on Green.
Oh, I've got a hater today. I had to dig deep, but I have got a heater.
And the 5 on it, of course, coming up in the second hour as well. And Jeremy will give us his full preview of the Senior Bowl taking place down in Mobile, Alabama. Tomorrow, he will have the special stream with him and David Smith of Armchair Commentary right here in the Sportsocracy on the YouTube stream tomorrow at 2:30. So definitely don't miss out on that. If you're looking for, who's been making waves this week, Jeremy's going to tell us all about it. And, of course, break down the game as it's going on. Live reactions, once again, in the Sportsocracy. But first, Doug Pederson. Doug Pederson, two-time Super Bowl champion, is now the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
There was only one thing I could think of when I saw this news break last night.
What's that?
You remember in The Hangover when Stu starts playing the piano after they've abducted Doug?
Yes.
And he starts singing the song?
Yes.
That's all I could think of.
Yeah.
In my head, I was just here, Doug, Dougie, Doug.
And you hate this.
But if he's been murdered, you can finish it.
Yeah.
Well, then you're out of luck. And that's exactly where Jacksonville is. I have read this book with he won a Super Bowl. He's a great coach. Let me give you a couple of, just a few examples of that.
Okay.
Do you remember Jimmy Johnson with the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't go particularly well. John Gruden with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that didn't go particularly well.
Right.
Mike McCarthy with the Dallas Cowboys. That's in the active process of not going well.
Oh,
Joe
come on.
Gibbs,
It's only been 2 years.
Purdue in Washington.
Right.
I laugh a lot at that's the best thing on your resume. You won a Super Bowl one time somewhere else, and then they fired you 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Why could that possibly be? Maybe because it wasn't you that won it. You got insanely lucky. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Philadelphia Eagle fans.
It sounds like you are.
I never gave credence to Doug Pederson in that.
No. You've always given the credit to Frank Reich.
I gave a lot of credit to Frank Reich because the offense had a great deal to do with it. I gave a good deal of credit to Jim Schwartz.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, you had the flukiest trick play in the history of football. And a lot of other things go your way.
Mm-hmm.
But tremendous. That's great for you. Did you ever think Doug Pederson was a great coach?
I thought he's an all right coach. I didn't think he was one of the worst coaches in the league.
What did he do with Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz get better? Did you ever think over the course of time with Doug Pederson, he is doing magical things with Carson Wentz? That's all this hire was.
I mean, during that Super Bowl season, the first 14 weeks were great, and then Carson gets hurt.
And then what
And
happened?
then he was never the same after that.
But see, this is what people do with Super Bowl winners.
Mm-hmm.
But then what happened?
he was a disaster. Carson Wentz crashed into the ocean with Doug Pederson. And so now the one thing you had to get right in this was you had to bring in the offensive coach that could mold Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
You had that guy. Not only did you have that guy, it wasn't just, oh, there's a really smart offensive guy here. You drafted him in the first round. He's one of the best quarterbacks in your franchise's history.
Right.
And he wanted the job.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Can't do it. Gotta have Trent Baalke.
It doesn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense to me either.
This is dumb.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Doug Pederson is dumb, though.
I do. I shouldn't have said it that way because I didn't expect you to phrase that the way you just did. Doug Pederson's fine.
Right.
He's another in a layer of retread coaches that I've read this book a few times too, and it works about 20% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know where it doesn't tend to work? A franchise like the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
Do you understand that they've had 6 10-win seasons in their franchise history?
Sounds about right.
And 3 of them were in the first 5 years they existed.
Mm-hmm.
They've been to the playoffs 3 times since 1999.
Right.
And why could that possibly be? Because you keep doing things like this. This was not hard. We said this when we were talking about jobs that could open in the NFL. This was one of the most attractive.
Yeah, because you got Trevor Lawrence.
Exactly. And you've got James Robinson. You've got draft capital. DJ Chark you could bring back.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen on the defense. But you can't stop getting in your own way. You did it with Tom Coughlin for years. A few years ago, half of the complaints that were filed to the NFL Players Association were filed against the Jaguars.
Yes.
Half. In a 32-team league.
Mm-hmm.
Because of a, let's be nice about this and say, jerk of an executive that thought he was way smarter than he was.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, great coach. Has Super Bowl rings. No knocks on you there.
Right.
Was not a good personnel guy at all.
Mm-hmm.
But Shad Khan thought he was. And he took them back to the great days in Jaguar history, also known as one presidential term where you weren't the laughingstock of the league.
Right.
And now you're doing the exact same thing with Trent Baalke, and you expect to have a different result.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then they get mocked on Twitter, and I see people that are affiliated with this franchise saying, oh, just give Doug a chance. I don't have to. I don't have to give Doug a chance. Because to me, this is the same hire you made with Jack Del Rio. It's the same hire you made with Mike Mularkey. It's the same hire you made with Gus Bradley, Doug Marrone. It's just the same thing. You're just lather-rinse repeating the same coach over and over and over and over again.
Right.
Hey, he was good that one time. You remember that?
Somebody asked us in our throughout in our Discord server, our little chat for our House of Reprehensibles membership group on YouTube, of, why? Why has Shad Khan refused to fire Trent Baalke? And I replied, because then you'd have to admit you were wrong for the second time in 2 months. And he did it with Urban Meyer.
And I saw that response, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Why not?
I actually believe Shad Khan thinks Trent Baalke is that bright.
Oh, really?
He looks at the days of San Francisco lore, and he says, that's who did it. What he doesn't realize is he had one of the best head coaches in the league. There were 5 different executives in that front office that are now either GMs or assistant GMs. It wasn't Baalke. Baalke's a decent talent evaluator at times.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is he comes with this uncertainty and this. The only way I can explain this, have you ever worked with the jerky guy?
Uh-huh.
The guy that's just always, I knew you were going to say that. The guy that's just always in a bad mood, and he brings the whole aura of the building down.
Yeah.
That's who Trent Baalke is.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is, instead of just being the brooding person, he's in your face about every mistake you make.
Right.
So now you've brought in a coach that doesn't do anything really well. I think Doug's a fine CEO, but it all comes into who are your coordinators going to be. And with Shad Khan, why would I want to tie myself to that? If I'm somebody that has options, by the way, if Vic Fangio is not his defensive coordinator, I will be stunned. That make all the sense in the world of why you brought him in there.
Right.
But you had the answer. The answer was sitting right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to turn the corner and not be the same franchise that you've been since 1999. And you can't do it. And I'll be honest with you, I feel bad for Jaguars fans, and that's coming from a Jets fan.
Right. I mean, yeah, I would be upset if I were a Jags fan because you had the guy. You had a guy that was willing to come in and be the young guy to, bring this organization back from the ashes, which it's mostly lived in the ashes since its inception. But you had that guy, and all you had to do was get rid of one of the most unpopular people in the entire NFL. I have yet to see one person come out and defend Shad Khan for refusing to get rid of Trent Baalke.
And you won't.
No, every person in the league, anybody with a brain, said, yeah, that was the right call. You should have gotten rid of Trent Baalke, hired Adrian Wilson, who Byron Leftwich wanted from Arizona, and gone that route.
I'm going to level with you. I wouldn't have cared if you hired Yosemite Sam to be the GM. I don't care who it was. I think very highly of Adrian Wilson and have since his playing days.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a home run. The thing is that when you're a dysfunctional franchise, you don't get many opportunities to not be dysfunctional. Ask me how I know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get many chances to have that borderline no-doubter quarterback that everybody was in universal agreement on. I've asked around the Senior Bowl today, just people that are in the building.
Yeah.
Because I got a handful of people I know that are, based off what you've seen, give me your number one quarterback in this class. Do you know how many answers I've gotten?
One.
Seven. I've gotten 7 different answers of who's the number one quarterback in this class.
Right.
Now, 5 of them are at the Senior Bowl, which David Smith and I will be covering live tomorrow,
right.
And I'll tell you who those are. Very rarely is it no doubt. Even Joe Burrow. There were people that liked Herbert better than him.
Mm-hmm.
There were people that liked Tua Tagovailoa better than him. Now, the latter of those I never really understood, and I still don't understand it. Trevor Lawrence was universal agreement. In my lifetime, there have been 3 of those.
Mm-hmm.
And no, Peyton Manning wasn't one of them.
No, it was Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck was one.
Who was the other?
Trevor Lawrence was the second one. And then you go back all the way back to Drew Bledsoe.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's going back.
Because even though Meyer was the 2, virtually everybody knew he had limitations. He was shorter. He didn't have the big arm. A lot of people liked him, but everybody knew Drew was the better of the 2 talents.
Right.
And you're taking this. What stat do you want? The fact that you haven't won. Do you know the last time they won more than 6 games, minus that year they went to the conference championship game?
Oh, minus that year?
Mm-hmm. Won more than 6 games. Went better than 6 and 10.
2010?
That's exactly right. And they were 8-8.
Yeah.
You are the laughing stock franchise of this league. Worse than the Lions, worse than the Browns, worse than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You had one shot. Because in the first 2 years of a quarterback like that, you are infallible. It does not matter how bad he was last year. Nobody cares. Nobody that interviewed for this job cares. Every person that walked away from that interviewed in Jacksonville had one word. I've heard it repeatedly. It's dysfunctional. It's dysfunctional. They're going to break that kid if they don't hire the wrong coach. And I fully believe they didn't. In our YouTube comments, Scott Cutshall said Frank Reich couldn't do anything with Carson Wentz this year. You're right, he's a broken toy.
Mm-hmm.
Now Carson Wentz is the broken toy. That's the whole problem.
But was he broken after the injury in the Super Bowl?
I don't care what broke him. If you want me to be really honest, I don't care what broke him because I never saw him evolve under Doug Pederson. He had 1 year where he could have been MVP. Then he had 2 more years after that, and I know where you're headed with that. If it was that, one of these teams with a great medical staff would go, oh, we can fix that. That's fine. The arm's still lively, but it's not. His ability to read a defense never progressed.
Right.
Where's that come from?
Coaching.
Yeah. It's made me think twice on Frank Reich, to be really honest with you. But I look at Pederson and go, what in your history has ever said you're going to be really great at this?
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles' job was not the first time Doug Pederson had been entrusted with a quarterback in this league.
Right.
And you know what they, in large part, have in common?
What's that?
None of them progressed. A lot of them didn't get worse, but very few of them got better.
I mean, what, when he was an OC with the Philadelphia Eagles the first time, that was Michael Vick, right?
Yes, that would be Vick.
Yeah. And who was on the redemption tour, last legs of his career, and he had some amazing games.
He was not on he played 4 more years in the league. And he was fine at times. And then you were in Kansas City from 2013, 2015.
With Alex Smith.
Woo.
Yeah.
That really make you feel warm and fuzzy? No. And now what happens? This is the part of this that I haven't seen anybody say today. All right, so now you've hired Doug Pederson. Let's just say I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you the converse of this in a second. Let's say I'm right, and this job's open 3 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Now you don't have rookie deal Trevor Lawrence anymore. You're either going to have to pay him or you're going to have to find another quarterback.
Right.
If you've broken him beyond all repair, now you're right back to where you started. And this is the albatross job in the league that you can't get anybody to take, which is how you end up with Doug Marrone. Now, let's say I'm wrong, and Trevor Lawrence ascends, do you really have a belief, an honest belief, that this arranged marriage is going to work? Doug Pederson took this job because it was the one he was offered.
Agreed.
He was in the same boat as Jim Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted a job, and nobody really seemed inclined to give him one. So he took the job that was offered.
Mm-hmm.
But do you not see the disconnect between Super Bowl winning head coach and GM that thinks he knows everything? Even if it works, you're going to have strife.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you have 2 alphas in the same room that have a resume that say, I should be the one that wins. Even the possible success is still a failure.
But is this not what happens when non-football guys make the decisions? Because in all of this, it's been Shad Khan has been the guy who is getting all of the, I guess, blame in this situation. There's no one else in his ear, or no one else to even be able to bend his ear about getting rid of Trent Baalke.
Well, obviously not.
Right.
I mean, because if you're going to do it, it would happen right now.
Right.
And now you've emboldened Baalke of, if there's a disagreement, and there will be, who do you think's going to win?
That's going to be Baalke.
Where have we already seen that? Oh, yeah. This same franchise with Tom Coughlin.
Mm-hmm.
You've literally just done the same exact thing you did 6 years ago.
Right.
There's I see a path that you could be 7-9, 8-8, 9-7.
Sure.
That's it. There's no path to better than that with a generational talent at quarterback.
I don't know that I agree that there's no path ahead of that.
Explain it to me.
Well, I mean, you've already seen Doug Pederson take one team that we didn't think he could take to a Super Bowl.
It was owned by Jeffrey Lurie and had Howie Roseman putting it together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really think you can compare Shad Khan and Trent Baalke to that? Because I don't.
No.
Well, there you go.
But we don't know that we don't know that he's not going to be able to come into the room and convince them to make smarter moves. The Doug Pederson can get in a room with Trent Baalke and help him put together a roster that will be better. I mean, this team is you
know what tells me that you're not going to be able to do that?
What's that?
Jim Tomsula and Chip Kelly. He's had problems with every coach he's ever had. Urban Meyer, I'll even go to the most recent one.
Sure.
He's had problems with every coach he's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one. And this is a guy that you were the one that was willing to take the job. Congratulations, Jacksonville Jaguars. That's been the story of your life. We hired who would take it.
Right. Doug Pederson, new head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, will give, or Jeremy will have all of his grades for the coaching hires that have already been made and the ones that could still be made. Coming up in the second hour. Coming up after the break, we'll do just a bit outside. We'll get into the Senior Bowl. It's a big weekend for Jeremy. Big nerd weekend. It's coming up next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, we've had some heavy rains rolling up on the southwest flow up from the Gulf of Mexico. That's kind of the way we get our big rains here in Asheville. Low tonight, 19. Most of the precip moving on away from us tonight. Rain chances going down tonight. And a cold weekend awaits. Northwest winds tonight and Saturday. High Saturday, 36. Low Saturday night, 18. And then we do reverse that wind direction Sunday, Monday, head up into the 40s. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo.
I bought football tickets for my husband's birthday, and now I'm in a football bubble. All I see online are articles and ads about football. I hate feeling manipulated. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
The iHeartRadio app celebrates Black History Month by honoring the icons and anthems from past to present. From Aretha Franklin to Drake, Bob Marley to Beyonce, the most influential artists of all time are streaming now on Black History Month Radio. Plus, enjoy Black History Month playlists curated by dozens of artists like John Legend, Smokey Robinson, and Lizzo. And of course, dozens of Black culture podcasts to inspire and educate. Download the free iHeartRadio app and discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
Hey folks, DG here. I have raved about Dr. Rebecca Merrill and her staff at Asheville Smiles for years now, and I hope you've already taken my advice. But don't just take my word for it. Gary recently gave a 5-star review online saying, quote, "I love the personal touch, !" They did a great job and explained everything they were doing. I am very happy we found Asheville Smiles, ! Believe me and Gary and the online review masses. And visit AshevilleSmiles.com.
Asheville, Monsters of Rock and Roll Rupture. March 18th and 19th, Monster TNT explodes into the Egg Center. Metallic monsters and raw horsepower. Tickets now at MonsterTNT.com or buy at Allen's Jewelry and Pawn for free pit passes.
QC Kinetics provided amazing pain relief for a former professional baseball player, and you have access to the same life-changing treatments as retired Braves pitcher Jose Alvarez.
I put a lot of stress and strain and work on my right arm, but my right elbow took most of the damage with 3 surgeries.
Arthritis developed, and the pain was unbearable.
It wasn't just pain when I was trying to play sports. It was anytime I was moving the right elbow. It was pretty excruciating at times.
That's when Jose discovered QC Kinetics and the regenerative treatments that help the body heal itself, restoring damaged tissue and providing relief with no surgery or downtime. Jose's message to the medical professionals at QC Kinetics?
My elbow is feeling outstanding. Where were you 10 years ago, for crying out loud?
QC Kinetics is right here. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 826-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517.
Progressive is America's #1 motorcycle insurer, so we understand motorcycles. No, really, we have a bike translator.
Okay, this is awkward, but this bike says he'd appreciate it if you removed his skull pattern saddlebags. He feels self-conscious about them around all the other bikes, and he says you're not fooling anyone. You mostly ride with your golfing buddies. Listen, I'm just the messenger here. Oh, no, I don't want to say that. I think you made yourself clear.
Quote with Progressive and see if you could save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
At Ingalls, we know the ever-present struggle of, what am I going to make for dinner this week? That's why we started the Ingalls Table. It's a website that brings the best chefs and food experts right into your kitchen. You can sort through hundreds of recipes for every occasion, watch how-to videos, and print shopping lists to take to the store. It's all waiting for you at Ingalls-Markets.com. Ingalls. Low prices. Love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Yeah, it's a big weekend, and it's mainly just because of the build-up to Monday, the anticipation of what is coming in the happy hour on this show on Monday. Everybody has been asking about it, popular demand. They want to see the bracket. We're going to do the bracket reveal in the third hour on Monday of the overrated bands of all time. The seeds are already set. The regions have already been named. Jeremy's been rendering videos for the last 5 days, it feels like.
It feels that way to you?
Yeah.
How do you think it feels to me and my computer? I think my computer's actually caught on fire twice.
I have heard more cuss words come from that side of the desk than I ever heard in a Andrew Dice Clay stand-up. Because he has been...
What's in the bowl?
because he's been fighting with this bracket reveal, but it all looks really cool, and I cannot wait. I still think there are bands on this list they're gonna tick off everybody. It doesn't matter what your like is, what genre of music you like. There is a band on this list you're gonna look at and go, y'all are idiots.
It's not us. We didn't do it. We asked you.
Of course.
You did it. We just didn't tell you were doing it.
It's the Democratic Republic of Sports. And you know what? We all have a hand in creating this list. And yes, there are idiots in every group. So
I'll put it this way. We've shown it around Radio Ranch all day. Every person that has seen it has been upset by something.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody yet has seen this entire bracket and not scoffed and then said, how is blank at blank? Different bands, there's been some different commentaries,
right?
But everybody's had an opinion.
Yep, and we've got the plan all laid out on how we're going to be voting on these matchup by matchup.
It's all you,
and the most
get to be heard,
right? And the most overrated moves on in the contest.
If Creed, I'm so sure Creed's going to win the first round. It's going to make me so angry.
Why?
Because the band we paired him off with is a band that I absolutely cannot stand.
Well, then that means that they're matched up against a really good band, and we're all going to be like, yeah, see? You wanted them to move on. And nope, not going to happen.
Creed's got some bangers, and you know it, okay? No. Creed should be out in the first round. No doubt. They shouldn't have even made it, if I was being really honest.
You're crazy.
Creed's better than the Beatles, and it's not even really all that close.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See what I have to live with? You're insane. My gosh. Monday, 3rd hour, bracket reveal is coming your way here in the Sportsocracy. And the chat box, I can't wait, is going to be live during that thing. And to join it, all you have to do, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
The Super Bowl's coming up next weekend. We have this lull where they're doing the Pro Bowl thing. Did you even see any of the skills challenge? Do you even care?
No.
God, it's
no,
just awful.
I am morally opposed to the Pro Bowl. It is the dumbest thing we still do, and I can't figure out why we still do it.
Super Bowl coming up, though, and of course, Cincinnati Bengals fans, they are so excited to be in the Super Bowl, and of course they are. I get it. First time since 1988, you've never won one, and here you go. You got a quarterback who's staring destiny and history in the face. I mean, 30 games in the NFL, and this guy could be the first one to win a Super Bowl along with winning a national championship and a Heisman Trophy at the college level. And Cincinnati Bengals fans are great. And here's the problem, though. A lot of Cincinnati fans can't make the trip out to L.A., and so they wanted to be together to watch the game. And guess what? The No Fun League says no. So the idea came up, let's have a watch party in the stadium. 66,000 Bengals fans just watching on the Jumbotrons. And we can all celebrate and enjoy if our team wins the Super Bowl. And the NFL came in and said, nope, actually, you know what? We can't do that. Apparently it has something to do with the media contracts, that the media contracts will not allow a mass viewing like that.
That's not true.
And I don't really understand that.
Before.
NFL teams hosting watch parties in their stadiums?
I don't know if they've done it in their stadium, but I know teams have done it. They do it at the draft every year.
Right.
So I struggle to believe that there's not a loophole there somewhere.
I mean, the draft may be a different thing. Like, I don't know. Super Bowl Sunday, I guess they want to have every television possible, clicking on those sensors so they can have the great figures like 100 million unique viewers during the games and stuff like that.
They're going to blow that out of the water.
And so, I mean,
they'll do 100 million unique viewers in the first quarter.
Right, but this is the only thing that I could think of. The NFL just won't let it happen because what, the TV viewership number will drop in the Cincinnati market. I really don't get it. It was a brilliant idea, I thought. And you've seen colleges do this?
Anybody would want to do that.
What?
Why would you want to go sit in the stadium to watch the game on a television screen.
So you can be with the other Bengals fans.
Well, I mean, you can do that at any bar in Cincinnati.
Yeah, but that only gets like 100 of us together.
Okay, that's plenty enough people. Just throwing that out there.
The NFL has rejected the proposal from Cincinnati. They will not be allowed to gather in the stadium to watch it. And I think it's absolute bullcrap.
Well, if you want to watch this with Bengals fans and you live in this area, you can join us at the Social.
That's right.
And we'll have details next week of how you can join us for our Super Bowl viewing party.
Yes, indeed.
Somebody that might have some idle time on their hands and might want to join a Super Bowl party is Auburn head football coach Brian Harsin. This is not going well.
I did hear he was on vacation. I wonder how that's going.
It might be a permanent vacation. Apparently, the Board of Trustees at Auburn University has been in contact with lawyers and each other to figure out a way to get out of his contract for a slew of reasons. I told you when they made this hire, it makes no sense. None. Guy coming from Boise, Idaho, never been in the South, never coached in this region. Didn't make any sense.
Right.
Well, apparently he's not the friendliest of humans. Do you realize how many players and coaches they've lost?
Yeah, it's a lot.
They've had 20 go through the transfer portal. That's not including graduating seniors. They've lost 3 coordinators, one that he fired, one that left to take the defensive coordinator job at Oklahoma State that had personal issues with him. And then there was Austin Davis. He was a coach for the Seattle Seahawks. Used to actually be a quarterback in the NFL. He was the Auburn offensive coordinator for 13 days. Those are the things we know. Now, there's also a little rumor that if you believe Twitter, that maybe Brian Harsin is in the midst of a Bobby Petrino-esque type of relationship.
Oh, no.
I can neither confirm nor deny that. I just know there's a lot of fire towards this.
Right.
That might be the most beautifully awful hire I've ever seen.
Okay, beautifully awful. Why?
Because it was so unbelievably predictable. No, I mean, not the back end things.
Right.
You know, I don't know what you're doing in your personal life. That's up to you.
We don't know what they do in their bedroom.
I don't know, and I don't care. The alleged individual is a former Boise State cheerleader who is now on the staff at Auburn.
Right.
There have been a lot of grumblings. I'm not telling you I know anything. I'm just saying there's a lot of people in Auburn, Alabama that are saying not only is it happening, but I've seen them together.
Right. Which is a big no-no to begin with. I mean, keep that stuff.
Keep crimes.
Just keep that stuff out of it. It's not crimes.
Did you not like it? It's to Auburn. Did you not learn from Bobby Petrino?
Right.
Don't date staff. It's a bad idea.
Well, the Bobby Petrino wasn't staff though, was it? It was a student.
No,
wasn't it?
No, she was on
I
staff.
thought it was.
No, she was on staff. She was an administrative assistant, I think.
Okay. Anyway.
Then they wrecked on his bike, and oh, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a train wreck.
It did not go well. And they're trying to figure out right now, like, what happened? Why is Brian Harsin just going through assistants and coordinators like this? There's a full-on investigation going on.
He's a jerk. That's not even an opinion anymore. There have been players on Twitter, players on record saying he is not a nice individual. So, I mean, that part, I mean, I get that. Your personality is your personality. But apparently he is something else. Way out there.
Oh, yeah. And one of the reports that I read from one of the players, he was talking about, he's a guy that will harp on your every mistake.
Yes.
And single you out in front of everybody and just handles things very, very poorly. College kids ain't going to put up with that, especially when I could just pick up and transfer somewhere else.
And that's what's happened. I mean, you got to realize Bo Nix transferred from here.
Right.
His dad was a quarterback at Auburn. That was when I first started going, okay, something's weird here. Plus, he had an NIL deal down there that was rather large.
Oh, with the sweet tea company? With Milo's sweet tea?
And none of it ever made any sense. And the more that the ball has rolled downhill, it's made even less sense. John DeLon said in our comments on YouTube that his Auburn friends are saying that the AD overmanages everything and that there's pressure to win right now. That's always been the case.
Yeah.
Auburn has always been a 6 that thought it was a 9.
Yes.
I've said that on this show probably 6 times.
I remember us getting into the big fight about what was the better program, Tennessee or Auburn.
It's Tennessee by a mile. It's Tennessee by 10 miles. Now it might be 50 miles.
The only difference is Auburn wins every now and then.
Man, Tennessee people hate you. I do love seeing the hate you get from Tennessee Volunteer fans. I think that's why I'm embracing them more and more.
Again, facts don't care about your feelings.
By the time we're done with this, I'll be singing Rocky Top the way I do Country Roads.
No, you won't.
I just had an idea.
No, you won't.
And why will I not?
I mean, why would you? It's not worth it.
Oh, to irk you? Because I find
it
it
won't
funny?
irk me. I love that song.
Of course you do. You also love the Beatles.
Yep. I do.
When they win this tournament, I am going to take the ultimate victory lap.
They will not win this tournament. I have more faith in our lovely listeners and their friends more than that.
Let it be, let it be.
It's one of the greatest songs of all time.
It's also the only Beatles song that I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, I mean, that just... Again, you spend too much of your time listening to whiny country music.
No, there's a lot of good whiny country music. Yeah, that's coming from somebody that didn't know who George Strait was the other day. Your opinion on country does not count.
Some dude who had one song. Come on.
I will punch you directly in the throat if you speak of George that way again.
Eddie Fox threatened to disown me when he found that out.
Eddie Fox threatened to do a bunch of things because he kept thinking about that as the day went on, and it made him angrier and angrier. Yeah.
Not into country music. Sue me.
There's not being into country, and then there's who's George Strait? Wait, what? Could you run that by me one more time?
There were two Georges, and I don't really know which one did which song. There's George Strait and George Jefferson.
And yet, oh, good gracious.
See, now we're getting into just poking mode.
Yeah, you know those times that I'm like, hey, I'm doing the Senior Bowl with not Tank. I love Armchair. That worked out quite nicely. 6 days of this, and it's been 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow would have been hazardous for his health.
Yes, it would have. Yes, it would have. It's not going well for the Auburn Tigers right now, and who knows? Who knows where this could go? Because you think about the buyout situation that they're in right now. I mean, this will be the third buyout that they've had.
And it's $18.5 million because they would owe him 70% of what's still remaining if they fired him without cause. Although with the things I've heard, I believe you could find a cause in there if you really wanted to.
Oh, I think they're going to. I think that's what this is all about. The investigation is how can we keep from paying another buyout to a failed coach? Because they did it with Gene Chizik, and then who was after him?
After Chizik was Malzahn.
Malzahn, and then they paid his $20 million buyout, and now they've got an $18 million buyout that they're just trying to figure out how can we not do this.
I read a report earlier that Auburn has nonstop been paying installation payments on buyouts since the mid-'90s.
Mm-hmm.
It's never stopped. Like going all the way back to Terry Bowden, they have never stopped paying buyouts because one of them has never elapsed before they've done it again.
Right. Because they feel the pressure to win too much.
Because they think they're better than they are.
With Alabama down the streak, they think they should be a competitor. And you just, at some point, you have to realize we're not that team. We're Georgia Tech. We're NC State. We're, whatever. We're not going to compete with the big dog in the state. And it is what it is, I guess. Senior Bowl coming up tomorrow. Jeremy's going to be doing the live stream with David Smith of Armchair Commentary. Senior Bowl. What's the biggest news coming out of the Senior Bowl now? We talked about Malik Willis yesterday.
Oh, Malik Willis has been the hype on him is going to get ridiculous. And I kind of knew that was going to happen. I didn't think it would happen in Senior Bowl week. I thought it would happen at the Combine. There's a kid that I got to deep dive last night on some backlogged Senior Bowl practices. There's a kid. His name is Calvin Austin. And he's just a little feller. Good gracious, this kid's good. 5'7", $170.
Mm-hmm.
He can do a little bit of everything. And he has been borderline indefensible in Mobile this week. He also had a block pickup on Jermaine Johnson that might be the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
So, what was it? Calvin Austin?
Calvin Austin, he went to Memphis.
Okay.
He's real little. Real little. But I could see him being a gadget player in the NFL. There have been a few other guys that have. Jermaine Johnson, who I just mentioned, he's had a good week.
Oh, in every report that I pulled up, it's been Malik Willis 1, Jermaine Johnson 2, or reversed on every report of how Senior Bowl week going.
Zion Johnson's been really good too.
Yeah, and I saw some film of him that he's been taking snaps at center, or at least been working out as a center.
Well, he played center. I can't remember if it was when he first got to Boston College or if it was in high school. He had played center at some point in his life before.
Didn't he bounce to center at one point when the center from Boston College got hurt?
Okay.
What's his,
off the top of my head? I can't remember. I just know when I looked at my notes for Zion Johnson, it said potential center. Seen him do it,
but it's not Linderbaum. It's who's the one? Lindstrom.
Yeah.
Alec Lindstrom. When Alec Lindstrom got hurt, I think he filled in at center for a while. It was mixed reports, but I think that's what a lot of guys are doing at the Senior Bowl is figuring out. Okay, well, if I can't play here, then I'm going to have to make the move. Like that's what they're talking about with Daniel Falele now. Because after he got his,
lunchbox eaten.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to go
obliterated.
I was going to say got his doors blown off. Because that's how these guys are beating him. These edge rushers are just too fast for a 6'9", 400-pound guy.
Well, he's a door.
Right, and it's hard for him to stay in front of these guys. And so now they're talking about moving him to guard. And I saw an interview with him where he said, I don't care. I don't care where you move me. I've been playing football for 4 years.
I can't rail on that kid too hard because, as you just said, he played 1 year of high school football.
Right.
He's just a mountain, and somebody went, have you ever thought of putting on a helmet?
Mm-hmm. So
but he's a talented kid.
Yeah, you can't really rag on a guy who doesn't have a whole lot of experience playing the position, and he's so big he can't keep up.
This is also what the Senior Bowl is, though. The Senior Bowl, you start hearing a lot of rumors. I said something, and now I can't even remember who it was about. Oh, it was about Kayvon Thibodeau.
Mm-hmm.
That not all of the teams are in love with Thibodeau.
Right.
Apparently, Detroit's not in love with Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson. And you ask me, well, neither one of them are at the Senior Bowl. Doesn't matter. You get all these people in the same room, they start talking.
Right.
And loose lips sink ships.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you've got people down there that have microphones that also have your cell phone number. It's weird how many things you can hear.
Right. The only team with a player that I have heard they're in love with is Pittsburgh with Malik Willis.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't believe that.
Okay.
You have to be really
careful.
Yeah, because smoke screens start going up really early.
Right.
That's one of those things you could look at 2 weeks from now and go, remember when we thought that was the thing? First of all, Pittsburgh's picking at 20. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be there at 20. I hate to break it to you. He will not be there. Sam Howell won't be there at 20.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I easily could see Kenny Pickett being there. That's why I've always kind of put those two together. Plus, Pittsburgh infamously passed on a Pittsburgh quarterback once, and I won't be shocked if they don't do it again.
Yeah, old Dan Marino, and that still comes back to haunt you.
That didn't go so well. But this is going to be look. We usually don't talk about the Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a slightly different year. You've got so many guys that are going to be. I mean, Zion Johnson's a perfect example. This is a kid that I had and I thought I was high on him. I had him in the middle of the second round to the back of the second round. Now I've got people telling me he could go at the back end of the first round. That could end up being your team's first round draft pick. But that's what happens at the Senior Bowl.
Right.
You start seeing things. You get to talk to these guys. I'll tell you another. Damian Pierce, running back from Florida, he has been really, really good.
Yep.
Which tells me I need to go back and probably do some further evaluation on him.
I think he's one of the ones that, Jeremy always likes to rag on the running backs because they don't know how to pass block. And I
it's
think
not that I rag on him. It's that means you're not going to be a 3-down back.
Right. You can't be there when you have to pass pro. I get it.
And now, I will tell you this. There were a lot of people who thought Dalvin Cook couldn't pass block.
Mm-hmm.
Dalvin Cook was never asked to pass block. There's a difference.
But I think that was one of the things that I read earlier today about Damian Price is that he was standing up linebackers in pass pro. And I think that's one of the things that got them excited.
He played in a really gimmicky offense at Florida, which makes it hard to evaluate. So one of the reasons you see Florida guys fall a lot. There's another Florida lineman named Zachary Carter. That's the first time you'll have heard his name on this show. I will bet you I hit 30 by the time we get to April 28th.
Right.
I like him a lot.
David Smith, Armchair Commentary, says in the comments that he wants to hear you rave about Jermaine Johnson. Oh, you're going to hear a lot of it tomorrow.
Have no fear. That's one of the only Florida State guys that has a draftable grade, so don't worry. You'll get to hear me say a lot about Jermaine Johnson.
And a first-round grade at that.
He does have a first-round grade for me.
Yeah.
It's one of my last first-round grades.
Yeah. Devontae Wyatt's been getting some great reviews this week.
He's had a good week.
As this guy could be a back end of the first round kind of guy.
I don't think he can get that high, but he needed a week like that. He needed a week away from the 7 other guys for Georgia's defense they're going to get drafted. And I think the only other one that's here is Channing Tindall.
I think that's right.
That's the only other one I saw.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be another one.
I don't think there is. I think those are the only two Georgians.
And Wyatt.
But, I mean, the thing that's got me excited about this Senior Bowl is the fact that there are so many guys that we know.
Yes.
Because with the extra coronavirus year and all of that, and we had a great class of seniors this year in college football.
Mm-hmm.
And you got guys all over this game because, as you said, nobody can come up with a consensus of, is this guy good or is this guy bad? Or not bad, but
yeah, I was about to say,
he next level?
Not that cut and dry.
Right.
Is this guy a first rounder? Is this guy a second rounder?
Yeah.
There's a lot of dispute there. And tomorrow will be the first step in a 3-step process that only figures those things out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really the start of Draftmas season for me. This is the first. This is like the day. Tomorrow is like the day you put up the tree and you get the advent calendar and you know that there's a chocolate every day that you get to eat. That's kind of what tomorrow is for me.
Yep.
I get to pull out all the decorations. It's officially Draftmas season.
We do have a super chat, but it actually ties to what we're going to talk about at the top of the hour. So do we want to get to it now, or can we hang on to it?
We'll do it then.
All right, David, we will get to your super chat. Don't worry. But we're getting ready to talk about that coming up at the top of the hour after the Sports Center update. But we got to take a quick break right now. When we come back, Jeremy's going to give you the picks of the night in Greene on Greene right here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Coffee's the club.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg, and cheese or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
Paid for by Consumer Tort Network. Always check with your doctor before discontinuing any medication. Has your doctor told you that you have cancer? Have you taken Zantac or another generic version of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of the drug. Some of the largest stores in the country have them off the shelves. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the Consumer Tort Network now at 800-513-6073. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. We represent some of the largest law firms in America. They have proven records fighting the big pharmaceutical giants, and there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. We're here to help, so please call now. 800-513-6073. 800-513-6073. That's 800-513-6073.
I'm Joel Clark, a Select Quote agent, with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and he can't take it with him. Well, I went to work and found Ray, who's 40 and takes medication to control his high blood pressure, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. That's way more coverage for a lot less than what he was paying. If SelectQuote didn't shop for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote and to find out how much you can save, call 1-800-214-2626. That's 1-800-214-2626. 1-800-214-2626. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Coffee's the closer's only.
Get him the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
A 3-1 Thursday night has made it a profitable week. We look to cap it off with 4 in Green on Green. I got them all for you in the NBA. First, the Brooklyn Nets, I almost called them the New Jersey Nets, are a 3.5-point dog tonight at Utah. The Nets have lost 6 in a row. But Utah's playing shorthanded. No Jordan Clarkson, no Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, and what does that do? That makes it easier for teams to get to the basket, which is what Kyrie Irving and James Harden want to do, especially when they're not shooting particularly well. I don't know that Brooklyn wins this game, but I think they do. Give me Brooklyn plus the 3.5. Next, the Charlotte Hornets are a 5-point favorite tonight against Cleveland. Surprise, surprise, these are two of the best teams in the league against the spread. I didn't believe that until I checked it myself. But Darius Garland, not likely to play tonight. Cleveland's all-star, the guy that stirs the drink for this offense, not likely to play. That changes a lot for me. Cleveland's shorthanded. Anyway, you take away Garland, this team looks a lot more like they looked last year than they've looked this year. Give me the Hornets minus the 5. Finally, the Chicago Bulls are a 2-point favorite tonight at the Indiana Pacers. This Pacer team is horrible. No Malcolm Brogdon. No Miles Turner. Domantas Sabonis is in the protocols. There's not a lot to like here. The Bulls are a 2-point favorite. I'll take the Bulls, but what I love, 2 slow-paced teams. Over-unders 231.5. I'll take the under.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
And as always, you can take those wagers over to betus.com. BetUS.com, use the promo code SPORTSOCRACY, and they will give you a 125% deposit bonus up to $2,500 just for using our promo code SPORTSOCRACY at betus.com.
Did you watch any of Lakers-Clippers last night?
No.
The Lakers did not win, but they covered.
Oh, did they?
And that, for me, is a win.
Well, that's good.
That's all I care about.
That's good.
It's not whether you win or lose. It's whether you cover the spread.
Whether or not you cover the spread. Speaking of spreads, we usually talk betting spreads, but we got the Super Bowl coming up. And I've been thinking about this for a while. Like, how am I going to do Super Bowl Sunday when I can't have all of the gross foods that I really, really want to have? Well, I'm not tempted by those things as much anymore because I'm feeling healthier with PhD weight loss. We've been going to see Dr. Ashley Lucas and the folks over at PhD Weight Loss now for over 2 months, and we're having great success with our weight loss venture here. Jeremy, you and I have taken down more than 50 pounds already. You got your weigh-in coming up this weekend. I know you're excited to see if you can continue on last week's growth.
My weigh-in is tomorrow. I will see if I have grown or actually the opposite of grown.
Yeah.
Past my 21 pounds that I have already lost. I feel better. I'm sleeping better. And I can't emphasize enough how convenient this is. That's what got me in this shape in the first place. And it's what's going to get me out of this shape with PhD weight loss.
I'm feeling very, very spry. I've been, taking breaks at work here. It's actually inspired me to quit smoking. I'm now 4 days cigarette free. And I've been working out. I've been walking around the building during breaks and all that kind of stuff. And it's all because PhD has put me on the right path. PhD weight loss. Get with them today at myphdweightloss.com. That's myphdweightloss.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, we've had some heavy rains rolling up on the southwest flow up from the Gulf of Mexico. That's kind of the way we get our big rains here in Asheville. Low tonight, 19. Most of the precip moving on away from us tonight. Rain chances going down tonight. And a cold weekend awaits. Northwest winds tonight and Saturday. High Saturday, 36. Low Saturday night, 18. And then we do reverse that wind direction Sunday, Monday, head up into the 40s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. File in a way that fits you and get the refund you deserve, guaranteed. Jackson Hewitt Tax Pros can help you find thousands worth of new tax credits. Schedule an appointment with one of their tax pros and learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
All right, people, it's Valentine's Day. Everything has to be perfect. Yes, Chef.
At Ingalls, we know that not every Valentine's Day is 4-star perfection, with string quartets and swanky restaurants.
My boyfriend bought me flowers.
That it's not the money you spend or the elaborate lengths you go to.
Happy Valentine's Day!
It just has to come from the heart. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
I bought football tickets for my husband's birthday, and now I'm in a football bubble. All I see online are articles and ads about football. I hate feeling manipulated. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway. After retiring from the NFL, I've embraced my new role coaching my kids in their youth sports. Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to train, screen, and educate all of our basketball coaches. Visit trustedcoaches.org to learn more. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Sports Center.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Lennox. Los Angeles Clippers and Portland Trailblazers agreeing on a trade that sends Norman Powell and Robert Covington to Los Angeles. Blazers in the deal, receiving Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a second-round pick. Trade first reported on by ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. NBA trade deadline comes next Thursday. Nets and Jazz in Utah tonight. James Harden ruled out for Brooklyn due to left hamstring tightness. Nets have dropped 6 in a row. Donovan Mitchell expected to make his return tonight for Utah after missing the previous 8 games. A suspect arrested Thursday night in connection to the altercation that left a 49ers fan in a medical coma, incident taking place during last weekend's NFC Championship game. ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano, his thoughts today on the Jaguars hiring of Doug Pederson.
Well, quite a journey, the Jaguars coaching search. It started with Doug Pederson and ended with Doug Pederson 5 weeks later. Look, I mean, Pederson is a Super Bowl winning head coach that they feel can work with Trevor Lawrence, help develop Trevor Lawrence, and whatever questions he had about them, he got answered to his satisfaction.
Our Dan Graziano today on Get Up.
If you need to hire, then you need Indeed. The all-in-one hiring platform helps you schedule and conduct video interviews right from your employer dashboard. Finding your next great hire has never been more streamlined. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. HOPE. That's HOPE. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on now to ESPNABL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
And yes, we are live in the Ingles studio here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, and you can see us live on the YouTube channel. All you got to do is go to thesportsocracy.com, thesportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel while you are there, and that'll put you into or give you access to the chat where, yes, John DeLon, yes, the positioning statements in the open are correct with our names. Jeremy is the degenerate gambler. I'm the one who's cheaper than oxygen. Jeremy likes to put money on the line for things, and the only reason I'm putting it on the line is if it gets wet and I have to hang it up to dry it. Or
if it's a buffet line. You have long put money on the buffet line.
Well, that is very true.
But then again, I would too. So.
That is very true. Now I stick mainly to salad bars, thanks to PhD Weight Loss. MyPhDweightLoss.com. We've got the big news of the day. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they gave the job to the only guy that would take it. Doug Pederson.
The first interview, and, well, the guy they finally just went, okay, fine.
Nobody else is going to take our job. Byron Leftwich wanted it, but we all know the story about that.
But he came with, stipulations, and we're just not going to do that.
Oh, no, Shad Khan, he came with demands, and I'm not answering to demands. What? That doesn't even make sense. But we have now 5 head coaches in the NFL that have been hired. We've got 4 more jobs that are one is settled. We know who it's going to be, but they're waiting till the end of the Super Bowl for their
hired.
coach.
He's in the hired list because that's going to be the coach.
Yes, and Jeremy has assigned all of the grades to the coaching hires here. And let's talk about the first one that went down was the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears. Matt Eberflus became their new head coach, the former defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts, and Jeremy gives that.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
That's a big ol' F!
Yep, a big old fat F for hiring a defensive coach when you needed somebody who could run the offense.
Yeah, and I frankly don't care how good of a defensive coach he is. I could care less. You had one job. Find a coach that can fix Justin Fields and develop Justin Fields while he's still on a rookie deal. What did you do? Well, the exact opposite of that. So I'm not going to grade that nicely.
Mm-hmm.
I'll level. With the amount of talent the Bears have on the defense, I'm pretty sure anybody in the NFL could coordinate that and it'd still be good. That could be different levels of good.
Right.
But and you were the first one to hire a coach, which didn't make any sense to me. If you're the first one to hire a guy, you should have one of the best grades. Well, they have the second worst. The Bears are going to bear as long as there is a bear to bear.
I like Matt Eberflus as a coach.
Him fine. I'm sure if I ran into him in an airport bar, we would have several adult beverages. It'd be just fine.
Maybe so. But it wasn't the right fit for your job.
Okay, look, I'll walk you through this. I said this on a podcast centered out of Chicago, and they didn't love my answer.
Okay.
If your toilet breaks, who do you call?
The plumber.
So you would call a plumber for a leaky toilet.
Yeah.
If your power goes out, who do you call?
An electrician.
Well, the Bears have a leaky toilet and just called an electrician. That doesn't make all... You see how stupid that sounds when you say it that way?
Right.
Yeah, that's how I've viewed this since the minute that story broke.
And I can fully go down that path.
It's a good analogy.
Absolutely. I like that.
I'm not going to lie to you. I sit around and think about analogies way more than I want to admit.
They did a good job around the head coaching hire. Not so much.
Oh, the staff's fantastic. Yeah. The only problem is that if they have an improved year offensively, Luke Getsy will be a head coach somewhere else, and now you have Justin Fields learning a new system because most of the staff would go with Getsy.
Right.
So the thing about that didn't make sense.
Absolutely. The New York Giants, they made the decision. Obviously, that's been all over the news that they did not go with Brian Flores. They went with the other Brian that Bill Belichick meant to send his text message to, Brian Daboll, former offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good hire.
I would agree. He's a guy who's been up for jobs in the last 3 years.
I like Brian Daboll based on what he did with Josh Allen. So I give that a B+.
Okay.
I think that's probably the best you could have done. I don't necessarily know that there's a better coach in the NFL to try to bring out the talent in Daniel Jones. Now, I'm higher on Daniel Jones than most. I think he has more inert talent than probably any quarterback you could replace him with.
Okay.
The Giants are not going to get Russell Wilson.
No.
I know there have been a lot of clickbait articles written about that. It's just not going to happen. So you had to bring in somebody that can bring out the best in a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just watched Brian Daboll do that with Josh Allen. And I also love that the Buffalo Bills went, that's fine. We'll just promote Ken Dorsey, the guy that everybody in Buffalo has been giving credit for this anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll bring in Joe Brady to be the quarterback's coach.
Yeah. And it worked out well for the Giants as well because they now have Mike Kafka.
And you know who that worked out just tremendously for?
Who's that?
The Carolina Panthers. Joe Brady's the problem. 6 weeks later.
We're
bringing in Ben McAdoo. Bring back Joe Brady.
Yeah. Yikes.
That's one. Oof. That's going to haunt you for a while. I have a funny feeling.
Mm-hmm. So the New York Giants get a B+ on the Flostradamus scale here. For hiring their head coach.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm really impressed with how Daboll's put his staff together. Kafka's a guy I've told you for 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a head coach in this league.
Yes.
Still maintain he would have been a good quarterback if somebody would give him a chance. Liked him when he came out.
Stop that.
Oh, Kafka had a beautiful arm. Unfortunately, he could probably only throw it about 25 yards consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have the big arm that you're looking for. He just threw it was a really pretty ball that came out of his hand.
Right, because he was the backup for Philadelphia for a long time.
Oh, yeah, he was in Philadelphia for a few years.
Yeah.
But he's a really smart guy. I know Andy Reid thinks very highly of him.
Mm-hmm.
He was always earmarked to be the replacement if Bieniemy got a job somewhere. It's like Mike Kafka would just be promoted immediately.
Right.
They wouldn't even think about it.
And unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon.
Not necessarily.
Really?
I have news on that we'll talk about in the next segment.
Okay. All right.
Can't tell you it's going to happen. Just going to tell you don't write off the possibility of that yet.
Okay. The Denver Broncos. They've decided to go with Nathaniel Hackett, the former quarterbacks coach for the Green Bay Packers. And you give that...
Well, he was the offensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, excuse me.
Getsy was the quarterback
was the quarterback's coach.
I give that an A. Denver's in the exact same position that the Chicago Bears are in. The only difference is that they don't have that quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So that quarterback can be anybody you want it to be. It's kind of nice if you have somebody that could have, an opinion on that. Whose opinion you would respect because he kind of knows what he's talking about.
Right.
Been in the league for a long time. The staff is incredibly impressive. Just outside looking in, it's not done yet, but the names I've heard that could be put in Denver, you're putting them in the best position to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Denver did the exact opposite of what Chicago did. And for me, I can't ding you on that. And you got the guy you wanted.
Yeah. Now George Payton just has to decide who the quarterback's going to be.
Well, thankfully, you just brought in somebody that can have a very informed opinion on that.
Absolutely.
Now, you were talking about Malik Willis?
Yes.
That's a place that I've heard is very high on Malik Willis. And I really hope that doesn't happen. I like that kid so much, and I feel like if he's asked to start day one,
mm-hmm.
He will never reach his full potential. Just, be the second first-round pick in Detroit, like I put in my mock draft, and then we're all hunky-dunky. You don't have to do anything this year. Just sit behind Jared Goff.
Well, you'd still have the option to bring Teddy back. He could be the bridge to Malik Willis.
Stop.
The Las Vegas Raiders. They decided not to keep Rich Bisaccia and decided to go with, fruit from that rotten coaching tree of Josh McDaniels.
I gave this a C, and
I think that's generous.
It's more generous than it was originally.
Yeah.
This is like snipe hunting. You remember when you were a kid, Your buddies would convince you to go snipe hunting, and you go stand out in the woods and you'd be in a field with a bag and a stick. But you very quickly figured out there's no such thing as a snipe. Children right now are going, why'd you not just Google it? Because Google didn't exist. And that's fine that you got duped into that once. By the 7th time you go snipe hunting, you're an idiot.
Right.
That's kind of how I feel about the Raiders. We've read this book enough times. We hire the personnel guy. We hire the coach from New England. There's one great big problem with that. You didn't get Bill. Bill's the one that's had all of the magic. And you don't get Tom either.
Right.
The thing I really don't understand is you had so much success with the offense with Carr. Carr in Gruden's offense. The thing I didn't understand, they talked to Gerard Mayo, they talked to Todd Bowles. I'm gonna level with you. I like both of those better than Josh McDaniels because you could have kept the offense in place. The offense wasn't the problem. The offense was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Olsen coordinating that offense was just fine. Problem was you need somebody that can develop the defense, and I liked Gus Bradley. I think that the defense got better as the year went along. I would have liked it better if you're going to go a New England guy, bring in Gerard Mayo. I believe in his ability to call a defense and evolve a defense. It should tell you a lot that I like Todd Bowles better than I like Josh McDaniels in this job.
But you don't think that Josh McDaniels, like he said in his in his first interview after getting the job, I learned a lot from the failure that was Denver.
You will never, ever, ever, I don't care what you do, get away from the fact you looked at Tim Tebow and went, yep, that can be my franchise. You just don't get to come back from that.
Right.
And you were the coordinator with the Rams. Would you like to hear the list of teams that had a worse offense in the NFL other than the Rams that year? Would you like to hear that list again? I mean, every time he's been away from Bill, it's gone poorly.
Yes.
Why in the world would you think it's going to end differently now?
But he's
grown up. He said, look at what he did in New England. When are you going to learn that that's not a thing?
Right.
It's not. We've seen this. We've read this book.
Bill gets all the credit for what happened in New England when Tom was away.
And now I have to say, Armchair, I think this was what Armchair was talking about with his super chat.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I don't ask for much. Okay? I've been through a lot. There's a report that Bill Belichick really wants Adam Gase to replace Josh McDaniels as his offensive coordinator. And I'm not going to lie, I've been a very good boy this year, and I don't want anything else for Christmas except Adam Gase to be the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots. His super chat said if the Pats hire Gase as the OC, he could be pulling the ultimate double agent move and burn down the organization from the inside for the Jets, Jets. We wouldn't be doing it for us.
No.
His key card doesn't work in New Jersey anymore, and neither does his Easy Pass or anything else that can get him into the city.
But that was all part of the plan.
It's all part of the plan.
We got to fire him and make him, make sure that other things happen so he winds up as a mole inside the New England Patriots organization. If they got away with cheating for so many years, then we can cheat too.
Look, karma, universe, whatever you want to call this, I dealt with 22 years of Tom Brady, okay? I'm not owed anything because the world doesn't owe you anything, but it would make up for that 22 years of the wiffle ball bat if you could give me Adam Gase in New England. That's all I'm saying.
Adam Gase is pretty good as an offensive coordinator, though. Right?
With Peyton Manning. Huh? You know what Mac Jones isn't?
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning.
I don't think you're going to get any arguments on that side of it. Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings, they haven't made the hire yet because they can't, because they're waiting on their chosen one to finish his run with his current team in the Super Bowl. It's offensive coordinator from the Los Angeles Rams, Kevin O'Connell.
I was going to give this a C until I heard John Harbaugh speak.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what he said about Minnesota?
No.
He said he was more enthusiastic for them than they were for him. That bumped it up a full half a letter grade, and then I was generous and did another half a letter grade.
So it was Jim Harbaugh that said that.
What'd I say?
You said John.
Okay, stop
having brothers.
Stop naming your children. Like, alliteration with your children's name is really annoying.
I love you, Joe and
Jim
Josh.
Harbaugh. Yeah, who do you think I was talking to? I give the Minnesota Vikings a B-. I don't necessarily know what Kevin O'Connell's going to be as a head coach, but I know you're taking your shot. This is a imitation league. You've got Sean McVay and a Sean McVay disciple in the Super Bowl. You have a lot of things on offense to really like, and so what do? You hire another guy off that tree. It makes all the sense in the world. One of the things I routinely said about Minnesota is your offense is not very creative. Kevin O'Connell's going to bring in a vet defensive coordinator. Who it will be, I do not know. But this will be a Wade Phillips situation. You mark my words. This is not going to be a first-time coordinator. And I like that. Somebody put their fingerprints on the defense. If the defense just gets fractionally better than it was, they couldn't touch a quarterback if they'd had 15 people on the field at times last year. So just that, you throw some innovation into the offense, as bad as that division could be, I can't hammer it. It's just very risky. And just for posterity's sake, if Byron Leftwich had been hired in Jacksonville and there had been no history there, that's the same grade that I would have given Jacksonville for hiring him. Okay. With who he was, it would have been an A+.
Right.
Because you struggle to get people in the building. You've been a losing franchise forever. You need a little shot in the arm. Byron Leftwich would have been an A+.
In turn, that's not who they ended up with in the Jacksonville Jaguars, as we said earlier in the show. Doug Pederson is now the head coach, 2-time Super Bowl champion. 1 time as a coach, 1 time as a third-string backup for the Green Bay Packers. You're not nice to them on this one, and I think you're too down. I think you're too down on this decision.
We got to recharge your Brave batteries.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense to me. That's a big old D.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not a good hire. It's just not. At the end of the day, this is not a good hire. This is you hired the guy that would take your job. And when you're a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars, you have to strike while the iron's hot, and they didn't. There's a reason this was the first guy that you interviewed and the guy you ultimately interviewed, or the guy that you ultimately hired. That virtually never happens, especially when it's a guy that was just sitting on his couch and you interviewed him week 15 or 17 or whatever week that was.
And can you think of a single reference or a memory in recent times in the NFL where they had a guy and then that guy backed out or didn't take the job for whatever, they had to go with the backup plan, and then that turned out to be the saving grace?
I'm sure it's happened, but I don't
right,
remember
I can't. I've been trying to rack my brain all day trying to think of one, and I can't do that. I didn't have a whole lot of high hopes for Jacksonville to begin with. I think Doug Pederson's a fine coach, and if there's anybody that's going to go in there and be able to lead them to an okay record, I'll say it's him. But it's not going to be easy.
I'm not saying he's not a fine coach. I'm saying you had the opportunity to coach that had a much higher ceiling that would have invigorated your fan base.
Right.
And developed your franchise quarterback.
There are 3 other jobs that are going to be had here in the next little bit. Jeremy's also given us grades for the possible hires in in all 3 of those. Plus, we'll get into other coaching news coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville. You're in the Sportsocracy. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, we've had some heavy rains rolling up on the southwest flow up from the Gulf of Mexico. That's kind of the way we get our big rains here in Asheville. Low tonight, 19. Most of the precip moving on away from us tonight. Rain chances going down tonight. And a cold weekend awaits. Northwest winds tonight and Saturday. High Saturday, 36. Low Saturday night, 18. And then we do reverse that wind direction Sunday, Monday, head up into the 40s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 26 eastbound between the French Broad River to approaching Airport Road. On the westbound side of 26, light delays between Airport Road and Long Shoals Road. 40 eastbound is slow between exit 27 and NC 215 in Haywood County. In Clyde, near Lake Junaluska, US 74 eastbound, stop and go between Carolina Boulevard and I-40. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road, delays. Hendersonville Road, southbound between the Skyland area and Long Shoals Road, expect delays. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo.
I feel like I'm being haunted by a pair of headphones. Everywhere I go is a creepy ad for headphones I looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
If you're on the job day in and day out, you know living with pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders is miserable. The good news, QC Kinetics gets it. They understand guys like you.
They don't have the luxury of taking time off. They want to keep working. We are built for those guys that want to keep working and want to stay active. So the vast majority of who we see are the blue-collar guys like me and you.
QC Kinetics uses biologic therapies, just like pro athletes have used for years, to get you lasting pain relief with no surgery.
I want you to continue working. I want you to continue exercising. The joints are made to be moved.
The treatments at QC Kinetics are fast and non-invasive.
It's not a lot of time commitment on your part. There is no downtime or recovery time. You don't need short-term disability with what we do. We want to keep you active.
Call QC Kinetics now to set up your free no-obligation consultation. Learn how you can get real pain relief and stay on the job.
QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
There's a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines, and everyone has an opinion. So I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. Talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. Go to getvaccineanswers.org for the latest information. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Sure, we have 30 seconds to tell you that drivers who switch to Progressive could save big. But then what? Well, radio has been called theater of the mind, so let's tell a story with sound effects. Wow, it's like I was in the story. Almost makes me forget this was supposed to be about saving big with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It's ESPN Asheville. We are continuing with the head coaching hiring scores. The grades from one Flostradamus, Mr. Jeremy Greene, on each and every hire that has been made in this cycle. And we got 3 more jobs that are open, that they are actively looking for someone to take these jobs. And we'll start off with the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints already have a head coaching candidate in-house, Dennis Allen.
That's who I've said would probably get it from the get-go.
Right. He's done a great job with the defense. The defense is, I believe that their defense is a championship caliber defense.
It is.
If you could put a great offense on the other side of it like Sean Payton had all those years, then, of course, the offense is the problem, though. So would you go with an offensive coach rather than going with a defensive coach?
Well, they had basically come down to 2 finalists. It's been 2 finalists forever. And then a third entrant entered the fray.
Okay.
I had 2 on the graphic. Dennis Allen or Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, who was in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give both of them an A.
All right.
This is going to be a long-term fix because I don't care who you hire to come in and fix this offense. It's going to take some time. Now, apparently, they're going to bring in Eric Bieniemy for an interview. And I don't love hiring coaches off the Andy Reid tree because it just has not gone well in the past.
Okay.
I'd give that an A+. Eric Bieniemy would be an A+. And here's why I say that. He was running back in this league. Been a running backs coach in this league. What is the one weapon you know definitively is going to be in New Orleans for the time being?
Alvin Kamara.
There you go. So you can build an offense around that, and then Bieniemy can just have his hands on everything else because you don't have a quarterback. I don't necessarily think you have a tight end. I liked Adam Troutman when he was coming out, but he hasn't done much in this league. I don't know what you're going to do with Michael Thomas. You can make that decision one way or the other.
Right.
The money's going to be a problem if you attempt to move it. But you don't have any other weapons. You don't have a solution at quarterback, and your left tackle's probably going to leave in free agency.
Right.
So Eric Bieniemy could be given all of the leeway to build this offense exactly how he wants to, and he could retain Dennis Allen as his defensive coordinator. That I actually think gives them the best chance to be reasonably successful the quickest. Because you're going to need somebody that can build an offense.
Agreed.
So even if it's Dennis Allen or Aaron Glenn, they're going to have to bring in somebody high level to deal with this offense.
And I think that's the best path to do it, to
I
bring
would agree.
in the offensive guy to be the head coach, and then you can keep on the defensive, Dennis Allen as the defensive coordinator.
Well, I mean, the Saints have been robbing Peter to pay Paul forever. So now you're $70+ million over the cap. You're not going to keep doing the restructure shell game. So it's going to be a long-term fix. But the fact that Bieniemy, they obviously told Bieniemy something about how patient they would be to get him to come in and interview for this. And the more I think about it, that's the right hire.
I agree.
That's the right hire, and just tell him, look, you got all the time in the world. The same thing basically the Lions did with Dan Campbell. We got ourselves in this mess, and we will be patient with you as you get us out of it.
I firmly believe Eric Bieniemy is going to be a good head coach in this league. I don't care about the Andy Reid coaching tree. By the way, it did turn out a Super Bowl. As much credit as you don't want to give Doug Pederson. So, anyhow.
Yeah. There's a Matt Nagy there, too. You want to talk about that one?
No,
There
not
you
necessarily.
There you go. Because it doesn't support your argument.
Of course it doesn't. Hey, the Andy Reid coaching trees turned out more Super Bowls than the Bill Belichick coaching tree.
The Jeremy Greene coaching tree has turned out the same number of Super Bowls that the Bill Belichick coaching tree has.
Exactly. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. Which way are they going to go? It's been rumored for a long time that Mike McDaniel is the apple of their eye.
You'll have a decision on this over the weekend.
But they have their eye on another as well.
There are two.
Or two others.
And it's the same grade regardless. Mike McDaniel, offensive coordinator of the San Francisco 49ers. Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
It's a B either way. It falls into that Byron Leftwich, Nathaniel Hackett, Brian Daboll tier. The difference is I've seen the other two for drastically longer. But I would say the high side on these two is, I think, drastically higher. Mike McDaniel is one of the smartest guys I have ever heard speak about football in my life. And the defense is fine. I knew something was up in Miami when they started talking about keeping the staff.
Right.
Both of these guys would fall into that. A lot of the staff in Dallas is Dan Quinn guys or Mike McCarthy guys. He's not going to be able to pilfer that staff the way that a lot of people would. D'Amico Ryans is going to get a head coaching job in this league. And it's probably going to be pretty quick.
Yes.
So I don't think Mike McDaniel is going to be able to do that in San Francisco either. So I don't mind either hire. There is a downside that has to be, you have to know. Coaches that have been in the league for 5 or less years do not tend to pan out as head coaches if they get a job that quickly. But these are two really smart guys.
Now, the last one, it's the Houston Texans.
You remember earlier when I said I was going to give the lowest grade ever?
Yes.
Here we go.
Found Houston Texans. Obviously, David Culley fired after 1 year, and they they have been looking at Josh McCown and Jonathan Gannon and Brian Flores is
Those
still
are
up
the
for
three
this job.
finalists that came out today. Their next head coach will be one of those three guys. Josh McCown or Jonathan Gannon will be an F-. I do not have a name for this yet. Somebody in the comments, Scott Cutchall had the best one that I've heard yet. Call it the Urban Meyer.
Oh, yeah.
That is the tentative name of this. I am going to give that an Urban Meyer grade because that is a disaster. Josh McCown's never been a coach in this league.
I know.
He's never been a position coach in this league.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought he was like part-time quarterbacks coach when he was the backup quarterback.
Stop. Was the decision on him?
No.
No. And this late in the process, his staff would be a disaster. Jonathan Gannon, let me get this straight. You're going to tell me that a first-year coordinator of a middle-of-the-road defense is good enough for you to fire David Culley, who rallied that team together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy that. Now, Brian Flores, and look, this has nothing to do with any of the lawsuits or anything like that. That's the best hire you could possibly make from a coaching standpoint.
I'd agree.
I cannot for the life of me believe he would take this job. I don't know why anybody with options would take this job. And they've struggled with that. That's why the first two are finalists for it.
Well, I think that's kind of the other problem, though, is that say Houston didn't care about the lawsuit that's going on and all of that. This is going to be the only opportunity that Brian Flores gets. I just don't see teams barking up his tree if he's suing the league. I just don't see it happening.
I didn't either, and then they announced him as a finalist.
Yeah. And maybe it's a PR move that
I don't know.
I
couldn't tell you.
Right.
I couldn't tell. All I can tell you is that it came out from the team that he's a finalist.
Right.
And that's the best coach of those three by, I don't know, a billion-y? Is that an appropriate way to say that?
That is an appropriate way to say that, absolutely.
I think it will ultimately be Josh McCown. And, for his sake, I hope they're more patient with him than they were with David Culley, which I still find to be absolutely laughable.
Won as many games without Deshaun Watson and a god-awful roster that they did with Deshaun Watson the year before. 4 games, and you fired the guy after 1 year. It's unbelievable. All right, let's get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
There's a new pastime that I didn't know this was a thing. I don't know how long this has been a thing, but there's a guy down in Florida. He was trying to think of something fun, creative to do outside with his grandson, and they went magnet fishing. I've never heard of this before, but you take a high-powered magnet and you put it on the end of a big old rope and you throw it in the river, and then you see what you can catch because there's tons of things just in the river that's going to attach itself to the magnet.
Okay, I'm going to say something that's not real popular here. I've never understood regular fishing.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it.
I've never either.
I just don't understand the allure of that. And if that's a hobby you enjoy, that's fine.
Absolutely.
I mean, I spend, my hobby is sitting around watching high school and college tape. So trust me, I know that your thought vice versa.
Yes.
I really don't understand why. What do you think you're going to catch?
Well, you never know.
Keys? I got Bill's keys.
You never know when you're going to catch something worth that's worth money. I mean, you could catch a diamond ring, or there's a way to make this hobby pay off. That's why there are so many people that go out metal detecting on beaches. They go out to see what they can find that's buried in the sand. It's the same basic principle. Well, they threw out their magnet the other day, and it's just going quite along, and then all of a sudden, you gotta catch on something. They pulled it up, and it was 2 sniper rifles. There were 2 sniper rifles minus the barrels just floating in this river or sitting at the bottom of the river, and they caught them. I'm gonna say that
somebody did crimes.
Somebody definitely did crimes, because not only did they catch the guns, but when they pulled the guns up, the guns were wrapped in shrink wrap. So I don't know what the purpose of that was. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, them being wrapped in shrink wrap could mean that they fell off a truck, because that's usually how guns are shipped.
I don't know. Maybe
the part of them not having. So when you say they didn't have the barrel,
there was no barrel on.
Was the barrel removed, or was the barrel sawed off?
It does not say.
Because there is a huge difference between the two.
It does not say. And the picture that it shows, you can't really tell. It's just the kid holding the two guns, and there's no barrel on the end of it. But it's the body of two sniper rifles.
Well, I mean, this is something that I know a little bit more about than I know about fishing. If the barrel was cut off, that's so you can't test fire it for ballistic purposes.
Right.
Now, if the barrel was just removed, could still be for the same thing, or it could just be it fell off.
Now
it fell off both. That's kind of hard to believe.
Now, here's the good news. The sniper rifles, worth $7,000. So pretty high.
Even after being submerged in a river?
That's the market value for the sniper rifle, $7,000. And I don't know if they're $7,000 a piece or if they're just $7,000 combined.
Well, I mean, they were two Barrett 50 cals, so
I don't know anything about guns, so I can't tell you.
Let's see. How can I explain this? There are a slew of rifles that you would use to shoot a varmint.
Mm-hmm.
A 50 cal is the gun you would use to shoot a varmint if that varmint was an elephant. If your varmint problem was, I don't know, a Sasquatch.
Right.
That's what you would use to take it down.
Right. They were A1 Barrett M82 sniper rifles, wrapped in shrink wrap, and here's the catch, though. They're worth money, but when they got them home and they unwrapped them and they got to looking at them, the serial numbers had been scrubbed off.
Crimes.
That's crimes. And you know what? It's illegal for you to possess a gun that has the serial number scrubbed off. So the guy had to call the police, and the police came, and they are now doing a full investigation to find out who did crimes and whether or not they can find out or track them to somebody. Magnet fishing. You never know what you're going to find. And I really want to do this in the French Broad, but I'm really scared of needles.
You should be.
So
you should be scared of many other things. Why are there so many watches? Oh, yikes. Yeah. The FBI is on line one and would like to talk to the two gents that were magnet fishing. My story also about crimes. Mine is from San Francisco. This fella's name is Jason Blackard. I don't know what he does for a living, but I know how he spent his days for quite some time.
Okay.
Between January 2019 and February of 2021, Mr. Blackard would dress up as a postal employee. He would put on the hat and the jacket and I'm assuming the shorts, because you cannot complete that ensemble without the shorts. And he would walk a route. Well, the only problem is that he didn't work for the Postal Service, but he did have one of their arrow keys that goes to every mailbox in the country.
Oh.
It's a skeleton key that unlocks all kinds of drop boxes. Well, he either found one, stole one, I don't know how he got it, but he had one. Over the course of 2 years, he defrauded the federal government of over $250,000. He used these funds to purchase a $58,000 sports car, a $98,000 speedboat and trailer, a $30,000 Mercedes, $9,000 in goods from a high-end clothes retailer, and $67,000 in goods from a big box hardware store.
So what, was he stealing, like paychecks, or?
He was stealing all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So from the way I read this, he was stealing medication.
Okay.
And he was stealing identities. So he was stealing the identity of the person. By the way, this is why you should check your mailbox. As somebody that used to work at the post office, still has many friends that do, check your mail, because bad things can happen if you don't.
Right.
Especially if your box is not locked.
Right.
He has been convicted of a slew of crimes, and now he will do 5.5 years in a federal penitentiary.
And you said his name is Blackard?
Jason Blackard.
Blackard. Oh, I was going to say, that's got to be a made-up story, because you know what the word blackguard means.
No,
it's like a thief. It's like it's like a fancy word for thief. So I went, well, he was properly named.
Yeah, he must pay $134,000 in restitution to the government and those who he defrauded. Now, here's my question. If you're doing things like this, why are you buying such extravagant things? First of all, don't do crimes. Be remiss if I didn't say that. But if you're going to do crimes, you should probably make it way less obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what does Jason do? Well, I've never seen him go to work. Well, he just bought a speedboat. That seems weird. Does that not seem weird to you? He's driving a Mercedes.
Don't ask, don't tell. That's Did you never watch Goodfellas? I mean, I know you didn't, but Jeremy's never seen any good movie. But
I've seen plenty of good movies. Walk Hard was fantastic. Talladega Nights, Step Brothers.
But I mean, that was the number one rule in Goodfellas. Like you don't go spending the money that we just stole.
It is staggering to me how many people get caught for doing crimes because of the stupid things they do on the backside.
Absolutely. Unbelievable. Just like we're never going to get any respect, guys. Charlotte Hornets fans, we can't get any respect, man. We got 2 All-Stars on our team, and we can't get 1 voted to the team.
Wait, you think you had 2 All-Stars on the team?
We got 2 All-Stars on this team. LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges. Those dudes are awesome. They've been filling our highlight inboxes all season long.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them at least deserved to be an All-Star.
I don't disagree that they're very good players.
Mm-hmm.
Here would be my question.
Yep.
Who exactly are you planning on taking off these rosters to put them on it?
Well, that's another story.
No, that's called common sense, which is what it requires for you to be angry about something. There's one player that made it from the East pool that I would agree he did not deserve to make it. Chris Middleton did not deserve to be an All-Star.
Right.
However, there's another player on his team that did more than either of the 2 players you just said.
Drew Holiday.
Yeah, Drew Holiday should have been an All-Star.
Yeah. I would.
Other than that, the reserves for the East are Jimmy Butler, James Harden, Zach LaVine, Jason Tatum, Fred VanVleet, and Darius Garland. And before you go, but Darius Garland, if I had an MVP vote, he'd be in the top 5.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He's been that good. Which is crazy because everybody thought Colin Sexton was the guard of the future.
They did.
Not that long ago.
They did.
Then he got hurt and Darius Garland went, hold my beer. Watch me take us to the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Right. Look, we're used to it. We're used to just getting the shaft, the little tiny old market. We just, I mean.
Cleveland's a small market.
I know, but you have to.
Toronto is not even an American market. It's in Canada.
I get it. I understand. But I'm still upset.
It's a big international market.
Right.
In case you don't know what I'm talking about, look at Major League Baseball All-Star voting for many years now.
Right.
Toronto Blue Jays, and back when the Montreal Expos were a thing, didn't tend to go well.
No. I mean, they had some guys, but not often. You see a team that has grown so much, and they're over 500 coming up on the All-Star break. And I honestly believe that LaMelo Ball is probably what? I'm going to say top 3 young point guard in the league. And I mean, I may be pushing it with top 3, but still.
I would put him behind Garland. I would put him behind Luka Doncic, and I would put him drastically behind John Morant.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he's still very good.
Right.
It's just, this is like what you have to tell children when children want a cookie. Okay, you're going to have to explain to me exactly how, there's things that go into this.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take somebody out, and there's just nobody to take out.
Right.
I heard what Draymond Green said about, it's a travesty. No, it's not. And the Miles Bridges thing, he's a wonderful player.
It's not a travesty.
He's not one of the top 10 snubs of this game, and he's not even all that close. Now, Lonzo, I could understand how you would make the case.
Yes.
The problem is people get too locked into stats.
Right.
And there's a very simple reason for that. Because in large part, people don't watch the games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Darius Garland. I've literally seen Twitter inundated with people going, Lonzo Ball's better than Darius Garland. No, and he's not even close. Love him to death.
Is it because of the defense? Is Darius Garland just that good offensively? What's the difference?
No, Garland has taken the worst team in the NBA. Top 3 worst teams in the NBA. Mm-hmm. They picked it 2 last year.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the 3rd best team in the East right now. 4th best team in the East, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and he's led them.
And it's been virtually by himself. And there's been a lot of role pieces.
Right.
Kevin Love has become a thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Allen, that would be my biggest snub. Is that Jared Allen didn't make it because he's been the best defensive center in the league.
And I think he's going to make it anyway. He'll probably be the replacement for Kevin Durant.
Possibly.
So
he would be the first one that I would think of and go, that he needs to be on the All-Star team.
Right.
And I understand. It's just, The problem with Charlotte now is that they have so many players that fill into the same narrative.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no real star.
Right.
Lonzo Ball's the biggest name. Gordon Hayward is the most important player on the team, analytically. You take that for what it's worth.
No.
But Lonzo goes off the floor, team stays largely the same. Gordon Hayward, or what I say?
Lonzo.
I was going to, if Lonzo wasn't hurt, then that would have been a discussion as well.
Right, it would have. Absolutely.
You brought this up to me, and I went, I could actually make an argument for about 3 Bulls ahead of Lonzo or Miles Bridges.
And
great seasons, but yeah, you gotta have a shred of common sense there.
Look, you just get tired of not having an all-star, and then when you think you have the guy, like we went through this with Kemba for years. When is Kemba finally going to get his due and be an all-star? Well, take a little bit while longer for LaMelo as well, and Miles is going to be right behind him. Just hang in there, Charlotte fans. I think things are going pretty well with James Borrego and the stars that we do have currently. Jeremy, you ready to make some more money here for the folks?
Yeah, last night went reasonably well.
And Jeremy's got 5 on it. All right, explain reasonably well.
Well, UCLA, that didn't quite go my way. And one of their players got arrested after the game.
Whew. Don't spit on people.
Don't do that, okay? That's not nice, and that's crimes.
Yeah.
And that ultimately leads to you going to jail.
Yeah.
That's not good. But won everything else. Made $18 last night. I got 3 picks for you tonight. First, I got 50 on it, under 231.5 between the Chicago Bulls and the Indiana Pacers. I can't explain to you if maybe somebody leaned on the wrong key or maybe somebody drank too many adult beverages last night when they set this line. The last 3 times these two teams have played, the average score, total score, 206. That's at full strength.
Yeah.
Indiana is killed. They're 1 injury away from calling one of us. This is going to go drastically under. I got 50 on it, under 231.5 Bulls Pacers. I got 50 on it. The Charlotte Hornets are a 5-point favorite tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland's just killed. I would know Garland, that team looks completely different. It goes to the same argument I was just making about why he should be an all-star and why he is. He is the straw that stirs the drink with Cleveland. They really struggle to score without him. I don't think this is nearly enough. I would probably have had Charlotte at -3.5 if Cleveland was completely healthy. They're decimated by injuries and don't have their point guard. This is easy. I got 50 on it. Hornets -5. I told you earlier I had to deep dive for the last one because Friday's a bad night of college basketball, but I found one. The Nevada Wolfpack traveled to Fresno State to take on the Bulldogs.
Well, that is deep diving.
That's deep diving. In terms of tempo, Nevada ranks 27th nationally. They're one of the fastest teams in the country. Would you care to take a guess where Fresno State ranks?
289.
355.
Holy smokes.
There are 358 teams in major college basketball. This is the slowest team, one of the slowest teams you will ever see. They're at home. They should be able to control the pace. They're the drastically better team. I could see this looking much like you. I said the same thing about USC last night. See what the final score of that game was? 50-48. Very low scoring. This one's going to be just the same. I got 25 on it, under 131.5 between Nevada and Fresno State.
Almost up $100 from the 500 he started with at the beginning of the year. Just trying to keep that thing growing, and you can take all those wagers over to betus.com. BetUS.com. Use the promo code SPORTSOCRACY. They'll give you a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. BetUS.com. Promo code SPORTSOCRACY. Coming up next, Jeremy's mad again.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
No incidents on the interstates. 240 on the westbound side on the Captain Jeff Owen Bridge. Traffic volume is heavy. Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Patton Avenue, incident-free. New Leicester Highway, moving well. Biltmore Avenue, no delays. Meadow Road moving well, and Amboy Road problem-free. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road, delays. Checking the drive time from Bent Creek to Avery Creek via NC 191 southbound. Drive time 9 minutes. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Are you a safe driver? Are you looking to save money? With DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. At Allstate, better protection costs a whole lot less. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
The underdog. The long shot. The nobody from nowhere, never gonna happen 100 to 1 shot. We know something about that. We're with you every step of the way.
This week at Ingles, select sizes and varieties Laura Lynn bar or shredded cheese, 3 for $5. Select sizes and varieties Prego pasta sauce, also 3 for $5. And select sizes and varieties Keebler Townhouse or Club crackers, 2 for $6. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Paid for by Consumer Tort Network. Always check with your doctor before discontinuing any medication. Has your doctor told you that you have cancer? Have you taken Zantac or another generic version of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of the drug. Some of the largest stores in the country have them off the shelves. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the Consumer Tort Network now at 800-513-6073. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. We represent some of the largest law firms in America. They have proven records fighting the big pharmaceutical giants. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. We're here to help, so please call now. 800-513-6073. 800-513-6073. That's 800-513-6073.
I feel like I'm being haunted by a pair of headphones. Everywhere I go is a creepy ad for headphones I looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Have you wanted to speak a new language, but thought it would be too difficult? Then try Babbel. Babbel starts by teaching you words and phrases that gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations. So in 15 minutes a day, you'll be speaking a new language in a few weeks. Babbel is built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com today. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. Have you ever cooked a really fine gourmet meal? Yeah, me neither. But I'm told it all comes down to the ingredients. And when I need ingredients to improve my car, the place I go is eBay Motors. Whether you roasted your last transmission, graded your current floor mats, or pureed your side view mirror on a lamppost, eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them. And by the way, if you recently fired up your grill, don't worry, eBay Motors has grills too. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Dirty Perky Shark back flat.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Shark back flat.
Let the hate flow through you.
I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. And I don't know why that I am, but I am. That the Jacksonville Jaguars, it would take a 5-week exhaustive search and end up with Doug Pederson. A team that in the last 10 years has 43 wins combined, and 10 of them were in the same year. You've averaged going 4-12 for the last 10 years. And you get a blessing from the heavens in the form of a golden-haired, golden-armed quarterback. And what have you done since then? Brought in lunatic Urban Meyer to be the head coach. Fired him after 15 games and just a slew of stupid off-field, on-field stories. And now you have the most listless coaching search I think I've ever seen. And you end up with the consolation prize himself, Doug Pederson.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even Trevor Lawrence that I'm upset about. I've watched what's happened with the Cincinnati Bengals and their fans and all of the joy that they have gotten from Joe Burrow. And that should be the trajectory that the Jacksonville Jaguars are on. They should be on the trajectory of, I'm going to see what it's like to actually be a winner for once. But instead, you have an owner that looks like a Bond villain that keeps hiring people like Urban Meyer and Doug Marrone and take any hire he's ever made, Tom Coughlin.
Right.
Which leaves you as this listless franchise. And watching the joy just 9 days away from the Cincinnati Bengals playing in their second Super Bowl in my lifetime and the first in, 33 years, Jacksonville deserves that. Fans of bad teams, you deserve that. And the Jacksonville Jaguars had a chance to give you that, and they have done nothing but rob it from you since then. I'm mad!
You would think they'd want to start winning, but it's almost like their owner wants to lose. It's unbelievable. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Don't forget to join us on the YouTube stream if you haven't already for the Happy Hour. It's a Foodocracy Friday where we'll be talking about all those good things that we can eat for the Super Bowl. We'll share recipes. We'll sit down and just chop it up and have a good old time. Have fun this weekend. It's a jam-packed weekend. I know Jeremy only cares about the Super Bowl. Don't forget,
Senior Bowl.
The Senior Bowl. Don't forget to tune in for the live reactions tomorrow to the Senior Bowl with David Smith of Armchair Commentary and our very own Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene, at 2:30 tomorrow. But we got a lot of other stuff going on, too. So have a great weekend. We will see you back here on Monday on ESPN Asheville at 3.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Boy, we've had some heavy rains rolling up on the southwest flow up from the Gulf of Mexico. That's kind of the way we get our big rains here in Asheville. Low tonight, 19. Most of the precip moving on away from us tonight. Rain chances going down tonight. And a cold weekend awaits. Northwest winds tonight and Saturday. High Saturday, 36. Low Saturday night, 18. And then we do reverse that wind direction Sunday, Monday, head up into the 40s. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Make this the winter of you with Audible. Listen to the best of what you love, from comedy to wellness to the latest bestsellers. Find it all at Audible with audiobooks, exclusive originals, and popular podcasts. Start listening free when you sign up at audible.com.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
No incidents on the interstates. 240 on the westbound side on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. Traffic volume is heavy. Smoky Park Highway, no backups. Patton Avenue, incident-free. New Leicester Highway, moving well. Biltmore Avenue, no delays. Meadow Road, moving well. And Amboy Road, problem-free. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road, delays. Checking the drive time from Bent Creek to Avery Creek via NC 191 southbound. Drive time 9 minutes.
This report is sponsored by DuckDuckGo. Protect your privacy for free with DuckDuckGo.
I feel like I'm being haunted by a pair of headphones. Everywhere I go is a creepy ad for headphones I looked at one time. I hate that feeling like I'm being watched. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy online with DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is alongside. We're in the Ingles studio. And guess what? We got Super Bowl coming up next week. It's time to get all those grocery lists put together of all the things that you're going to have for the Super Bowl spread. Now, normally you might be throwing a party at home. If you're not joining us at the social next Sunday for the all-you-can-eat buffet,
I'm assuming that's how it's going to go.
I mean,
I'll have more information at the beginning of the week.
To me, that seems to be the way to go. And you know what? Now especially, this is the one that I'm looking forward to of chicken wings. Well, you made me do burgers, you made me do pizza, and now we're going to do chicken wings. And I love chicken wings.
I'm a big fan of chicken wings.
And guess what?
And the hotter they are.
And they're allowed. They're PhD approved. I've already talked to my coach about it, and chicken wings, go for it.
Jason Trump said a reminder to turn down the time saver traffic.
It is turned down. I got the note here. It's been now 5 days. I think we can stop with the reminders.
That was 4. That was 4 because you blew my eardrums out on Monday.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah. All right, so 4 days.
I just washed that shirt to get the blood out of
out of it. But thank you for everybody. Thank you for keeping me honest.
Specifically, I'm saying thank you because my headphones are way louder than his.
They are much louder than mine. But anyway, and I'm deaf on top of it. So anyhow, we appreciate the reminder there. But let's get into it. Best Super Bowl foods. Can't have the Super Bowl spread without blank.
Well, I mean, the start's chicken wings. If you have a Super Bowl party without chicken wings, it's immediately bullshit.
Yes.
And you need to have 2 different flavors.
Yeah.
And they need to, don't.
They need to counteract each other? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't like the bullshittery flavors.
What are those?
Garlic parm, lemon pepper, the bullshittery flavors.
Why?
Because they're gross.
No, they're not.
First of all, I don't like garlic. I like a little garlic. People overuse garlic.
Mm-hmm.
People treat garlic like it's pepper, and stop doing that. There's 2 kinds of wings. All right, there's barbecue, which is the markedly lesser of the flavors. And then there is burn your face off hot.
Buffalo style?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I'm not a big fan of the buffalo flavor.
I want it to be so hot that I seriously consider, wouldn't it be better if I just cut my tongue out?
Right. See, I don't like super spicy food, and I'm not a big fan of the buffalo flavor. I don't know what it is about the I guess it's the vinegariness of it all. I've never really liked it. I mean, I'll eat it if it's there. Obviously, I'm not going to say no to a buffalo wing if somebody hands me one. But
first of all, don't hand me a wing. Leave it in the platter. I'll get myself. Don't touch my food.
Don't touch my food.
Yeah, don't touch shit I'm going to put in my mouth. Okay.
But since we're going there, we'll use the social as an example. Their Carolina Reaper wings, phenomenal. But it's got more of a sweet, kind of a sweet, spicy, not that vinegar-based buffalo stuff.
I have never met a spicy chicken wing that I didn't like. I've never eaten one that was, because the spice is the great elixir.
Mm-hmm.
You never, or at least I never, bite into one of those and go, that didn't taste good. I don't care. It's hot. It's hot as shit. Dip it in ranch. Blue cheese is nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't even exist. Stop eating moldy things, okay? There's too many actually good. Like, it's not rotten.
Blue cheese is the number one thing to put on chicken wings. And you can ask
crazy
anybody.
People. It's ranch. Ranch is delicious. Jason Trump asked in the comments, wings flat or drums?
Oh, it's the flat.
It's the drum. The drum is easier to eat. It is wonderful.
I don't care about it.
And I'm not going to lie, I don't mind a flat.
It's not that the flats are hard to eat. It's just a little more cumbersome. The drum, you can just eat it like, an ear of corn and be done with it. The other one, you have to break apart the two bones and then just slide the meat off. It's not that hard. What do you have you just have an affinity for getting things on your hands? Is that what you're saying?
I don't. I do wash my hands halfway through any order of chicken wings.
Right.
I was that kid that I don't know.
I'm flats all the way. And that's what makes me and my wife the perfect pair. Is she's a drum only and I'm a flat only. So I mean, it's what we prefer.
I mean, and I'm not averse to I'm not averse to a flat. Like I've never ordered just flats or just drums.
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't either.
The only thing I will definitively say is boneless wings are not.
Those aren't wings.
That's
those are
not
nuggets.
Yeah, it's a nuggie. Okay, that's a nuggie that you put sauce on, and it's fine. It has its merit, but it's not a wing.
Right.
Buffalo Wild Wings. They have boneless Thursdays. I'll drill the hell out of that. I don't walk away and go, "Oh yeah, those were good wings." No, those were good nuggies. It's different.
Oh yeah, I've had people ask me at restaurants before, "You want the boneless wings? How are you going to do that? Did you actually take the two bones out of the flats and then?" No, you didn't. You're giving me a nugget. Don't give me there's no such thing as a boneless wing.
I'm okay with the nugget. By the way, just throwing this out there, have you seen the hack menu from McDonald's?
Yes.
First of all, it's a brilliant idea because there have been fat shits like me that have been doing this for years.
Mm-hmm.
I had the crispy
double, yeah.
It's a double cheeseburger with chicken nuggets on it, slathered in barbecue sauce.
Now, did you have to build it?
I did, but I don't think I think they're supposed to do that. But that's okay.
They're supposed to do it for you?
Yeah, they're supposed to assemble it for you.
See, I don't know because on the commercials for the land, air, and sea, it shows them putting the burger together. And I think the voiceover guy, I think it's Brian Cox from Braveheart, I think he says on there something about you can build your own or something. So it may just, you order this, but they're going to give you a filet of fish and a chicken and a Big Mac. And then you have to put it together.
Well, see, but that's not what I want. I want you to assemble.
Yes, I would agree. This is like self-checkout at the grocery store.
Oh, I'll be honest with you. The first time that somebody hands me a McGangbang that's already assembled, hello, that's just a great day.
I'm here for the gangbang.
The McGangbang. That's just the fish, right? That's just the Big Mac with the filet of fish in it?
No. The filet of fish is the grossest thing McDonald's has. Okay, there's no reason that who are the people that keep ordering this to keep this shit on the menu?
They got rid of the Arch Deluxe.
Yeah, you screwed me on the Arch Deluxe, but you keep the filet of fish? Why? Why do you do that? And then you do 3 menu hack items, and they have a stupid filet of fish in it. Gross.
Mm-hmm.
No, the McGangbang is the perfect mixture. You take a double cheeseburger,
okay,
and you split her open.
Mm-hmm.
Then you take that worthless piece of bread that there's nothing on, and you throw that shit in the garbage,
mm-hmm,
or you hand it to the dog, or whatever you do with it. And then you take the lovely top bun with the mayonnaise and the lettuce, and for me, the tomato. The tomato is very important in this sandwich. And you slide it in between the 2 burger patties, and you eat it.
So it's a chicken sandwich.
Yes, it's the McChicken in between the double cheeseburger.
Okay.
Although, if we're being really honest, if you're going to say
I'm here for the gangbang,
then it really should be 2 double cheeseburgers. With the McChicken in the middle.
God, that makes my stomach hurt just thinking about it.
Because, all right,
can't do it.
It's not a gangbang with 3 people. All right, so there's just 3 patties there. That's
right.
Feel like that's disingenuous marketing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jason Trump says, yep, it's fast food, make your own sandwich. You're supposed to build it on your own.
But why?
Because you don't touch my food, okay?
They touch your food anyway. They had to put it together.
I don't know.
Just put the damn thing together and give it to me so I can eat it.
Look. Fast food establishments, I have been to fast food establishments all my life. I didn't get this way just, because. But the less complicated you can make those jobs, I'm all for.
They screwed mine up today anyway.
Indeed. So. See, that's the thing. So, yeah, build your own, just put it down the line and I'll put it together.
By the way, just, this is a total aside. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about, really. If they screw your order up at a fast food restaurant, just move the fuck on, okay?
Yeah. Unless they don't give you something.
Thing.
Unless they don't give you something that you paid for.
I literally never have that happen.
Oh, I do all the time.
I never have that happen. If they give me the wrong order, I wound up on the positive side of that 99 times out of 100.
You're one lucky sumbitch.
The last time that happened, I'm not going to say the establishment because it's very close to here, but I got just a regular meal. I wound up with 4 signature sandwiches, 3 French fries, and 2 drinks. And when they handed me 2 drinks and I was by myself, I went, I don't think you're doing this right, but I'm not going to say anything because if I give this back to you, you're going to throw it away.
Right.
So
don't. If it comes out in your favor, don't admit the mistake. But I can't tell you how many times I've been to a fast food restaurant and ordered like for the whole family, and then, of course, you look in the bag, but you don't want to take too much time sitting there sifting through all the shit in the bag.
I mean, I'll go all the way through the bag. I could give a damn less about the people behind me.
I'll look and I'll go sandwich. All right, we're good. Let's move on. And then you get home and it's, oh no, there were 2 sandwiches in there and they forgot one of our sandwiches. And so I have to go back or call them or some bullshit.
Yeah, I don't, it doesn't tend to happen to me because I don't care about the people behind me.
You're lucky.
You should be doing the same thing. See, because I'm one of those that I reach in the bag. I'll reach in the bag and physically touch either the wrapper or the box or whatever the case may be.
Patrick Holt says filet of fish is legit.
I don't get it. Scott Cutchall said Long John Silver's is the king.
Yeah, it is.
All right, I'm going to tell you a story. This story happened in 2007.
Okay.
Which was also the last time I ate at a Long John Silver's. I don't remember why I ate there. I never particularly cared for the place. But they had chicken, so, I could deal with it. Like, I just get the chicken, move the fuck on.
Okay.
I don't eat seafood away from the sea. All right, if I can't comfortably get to where this fish came out of, I ain't eating it. And this story is actually why. I, once, went, you know what? This seafood thing is ridiculous. All right, I like seafood. I'm just going to eat. I think I got popcorn shrimp.
Okay.
I've had food poisoning 3 times. You live on the road, you eat in airports and shit like that. It's destined to happen to you at some point.
Right.
The first time was bad. The third time was bad. The second time is the only time in my life that I have ever prayed that God would just kill me. And that was because of Long John Silver's.
Right.
I was sick for 2 solid days. And I mean, unholy exorcist Linda Blair sick. I can't see it Long John Silver's now without going,
Okay, I'm going to understand that. Yeah.
And by the way, that's the only place that I have ever held it against the place that made me sick. I have gone back to the other 2 that made me sick.
Which is dumb, but okay.
If you're ever that sick, you'll understand it.
Yeah. So you're saying that's how bad this time was compared to the other 2. Didn't even put any MDMA in it, did they?
Zantac.
Who's got the Zantac?
Zantac's doing bad shit to people out there. John Blunt, he said, I don't check my order at Chick-fil-A because it's always right.
Yep.
Secret time, I went to Chick-fil-A last night because they have a salad that is out of this world. Southwest salad at Chick-fil-A, the best salad that any fast food place has ever had. The McShaker from McDonald's, close second. I didn't even acknowledge it. They handed it to me. I just drove home. And guess what? I got home. It was all right.
Yep.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It's just the way it went. Like, you just got my shit right.
It's just the way that franchise is run. You know it's going to be right.
If the U.S. government ran as efficiently as a Chick-fil-A, we would all have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
But they spend $7,000 on a door that doesn't lock.
No, I am all the way in for Long John Silver's. This is one of my favorite places. The fish tacos, phenomenal.
God,
so good. And then you get those little crunchies, the little fried crunchies in the bottom of the order. Wonderful. You put that malt vinegar on the fries. God, so good.
Curtis Davis said I got food poisoning once, but it was my own fault because I ordered something called cheese ramen in a back alley restaurant in South Korea.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
And now
I'm not going to lie to you. I ordered some things in New Orleans that probably should have killed me. Hottest ramen I've ever put in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I hear ramen, that's the first thing I think of. Good God, it was so good.
Oh, this is the challenge you were telling me about.
Oh.
It was like a food challenge to see how fast you could eat it or something.
I think I actually pooed a flame. I think when I actually got to the point of things would come out of me, it was a full fire.
That's gross.
Oh, God, it was awful.
This is why I don't like spicy food.
Oh, God.
Part of the reason.
It was awful. Patrick Holt said the only time I ever got food poisoning was in Raleigh. Sesame chicken and rice for lunch was in the hospital by 5 for 2 days. I probably should have been. I refuse to go to hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
It's where all the sick people hang out. I don't want to go to the damn hospital.
It's no fun. It's very depressing as well. Just staring at the wall by yourself like, what the fuck do I do now?
Holt said Zaxby salads are way better than Chick-fil-A's.
I'd agree.
They're bigger, and I love Zaxby's.
Mm-hmm.
I just the dressing that goes on that Southwest salad from Chick-fil-A, I'm convinced you could put it on my coffee cup and I would eat it.
Sure.
It is so damn good.
I love a Zaxby salad, and it still pisses me off that they got rid of the Caesar.
And
really? You just couldn't carry romaine lettuce anymore?
Yeah, like Caesar. Everybody should carry. If you carry a fucking salad, you should carry a fucking Caesar.
Right.
Why is that so? They're delicious.
And don't ask me if I want the Caesar dressing.
No, yeah, I'm going to order a Caesar salad and I want it with Thousand Island, you dipshit. I mean, I hate to use a Rodney Carrington line here, but it's like going to Disney World, Chuck E. Cheese filling in for Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
No, I want the real shit.
Right, it's one of the dumbest things ever. Do you want the Caesar dressing on that? Fuck yeah, I do. I ordered a Caesar salad. It's not a Caesar salad if it doesn't have the dressing.
Do you want Monopoly money, or would you like me to pay you in dollars? Because if you would, then you better put Caesar in there, and there better be a damn lot of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
John DeLon said Zaxby's is a bootleg Raising Cane's. By the way, am I saying your name right? I'm asking him, not you.
John DeLon?
Yeah, I'm just making sure I'm saying his name right, because he's been in our comments, and he's a very good commenter, so I don't want to be saying your name incorrectly.
Well, I'm sure he would have corrected us by now if we were
shocked.
absolutely butchering
There
it.
was somebody a while back whose name I was absolutely fucking butchering, and they didn't say it for. I'm trying to think who it was. They finally messaged me on Twitter, like, just so you know, my name is pronounced this way.
Really?
Sorry.
Okay. Well, we launched the program to talk about Super Bowl foods, and then Jeremy took us down the fast food route again.
You know why? Because I like fast food.
Of course
okay,
you do.
Shoot me.
Of course you do.
255-pound man. By the way, I've already weighed myself. I know exactly how much I weigh.
Well, good for
That's
you.
the reason I went and ate McDonald's today. I went, I've lost 7 pounds since the last time I've been in this building. So, guess what? It's going to be 5 tomorrow.
It's going to be cheat day today. Mm-hmm. All right. Very good. So your Super Bowl staple, obviously chicken wings are a must.
I make a pizza dip.
The pizza dip.
Oh, it is.
What's in the pizza dip?
Unicorn tears, the blood of the innocent.
Nice.
Pure, unadulterated happiness.
Mm-hmm.
It is a block of mozzarella cheese that you wrap ricotta in to keep it gooey.
Mm-hmm.
And you put all of your things in it. And then you take two of the tins, you have to beat them against the counter tins, of crescent rolls, and you roll them into balls on the outside. And they puff up into these little puff pastries that you dip the bread into the cheesy concoction.
Okay.
Whoo, shit. It's so good. See, I'm a dip guy.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my foods that I'm going to say for a Super Bowl party, I don't want like a full meal. I need convenient things, all right? Because I'm locked into the game. I feel like that's something people screw up in party planning.
Okay.
Like, if I need a fork, you did this wrong. Because I ain't going to sit down through this whole game.
Yeah, I've never been to a Super Bowl soiree where that was the case, where somebody made something that was terribly inconvenient. Because it's all kind of the same. It's all kind of the same thing. Like, you'll have variations of finger foods, but I think everybody knows finger food's the way to go. Now, if you're just watching it at home with you and the extended family, then maybe you'll make a big dinner and you can have dinner before the game or whatever.
Oh, Holt just put out his menu. This must be his Super Bowl menu.
Oh, gosh.
These are not all finger foods, but they all sound lovely.
Of course they do.
Cherry Dr. Pepper barbecue glazed wings.
Yep.
That's a lot of words that I would have never thought to put together. And, yeah, I'm fine with that. I would be all the way in. Pulled pork nachos. That's, again, 3 words that I would not have thought to put together, but...
You've never had pulled pork nachos?
I think I did one time at Bonfire.
Yep.
I think they have those.
Mm-hmm, they do.
They just sounded so good that I couldn't help
and
it.
They're delicious.
Greek feta dip. I don't do feta. Not really any of the weird cheeses. You know, I stick to the you can comfortably get it on a burger at a normal American restaurant.
Right.
So Pepper jack, cheddar, Monterey Jack.
Don't tell me you eat American
Colby
cheese.
I do eat American cheese.
Ugh.
I mean, I don't eat it out of the fucking tin. Like, I'll put it on a burger. Burgers are American. You put American cheese on them.
No, I'm out.
If I handed you a burger with no
cheese,
as many fast food burgers as I've watched you shovel in your suck hole, you're about to tell me that you won't eat American cheese?
Oh, no, I will eat it. I'm just saying I'm not going. I'm not seeking it out.
I was about.
If I'm making my own burgers, I'm putting, I'm probably putting sharp cheddar on it because that's my favorite of all the cheeses.
I do like sharp cheeses.
Sharp cheddar, Swiss cheese, blue cheese.
I don't really like Swiss. I mean, I in the right tenant, there's a time and place for Swiss.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's an overused
like
cheese.
on a ham sandwich.
Yeah, it's good. It's good on sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't put it on a burger.
Oh, I love a good mushroom Swiss burger.
And I knew you were about to say that. I don't like mushrooms.
I know.
I would literally rather eat my computer than a mushroom. God, those little things are gross. I got to finish out Holt's prosciutto wrapped melon with balsamic.
It's great.
And duck confit steamed bao buns. I don't know what a bao bun is.
Bao bun? Never heard of a bao bun. But
I mean, I know what a man bun is, and I know what a buns of steel is, but I don't know what a bao bun is.
Is that like a King's Hawaiian bun? Are they like sweet bread? Is it
Hawaiian rolls?
Mm-hmm.
So good.
I like breads.
I feel like Patrick Holt's house is like the Google of food.
Of course it is.
Like, you just walk around and shit just happens.
I mean, the guy has a food truck. He has the barbecue business. Holt Brothers Barbecue. I mean, you would expect great things to come out of a genius like that rather than you come to Tank's house and you're going to get, I'm going to give you good food. I'm a good cook, but I ain't getting super creative with the shit. I mean, I'm just going to put a whole bunch of stuff in a pot and it's going to be fantastic. But
I usually go like Tasty or Delish or one of those. I love the websites that have videos.
Yeah.
If you have a video of what your shit's supposed to look like, first of all, your shit's never going to look like their shit. Ever.
Mm-hmm. No.
It's just not.
No.
Sorry, like, I don't know why. We have 4K cameras. They have 4K cameras. I've seen me do it. Doesn't work. But I come up with some off-the-wall shit.
Off-the-wall shit?
Yeah, usually if you're like, hey, bring a dish, I'll GTS and come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
I never bring the same shit, except buffalo chicken dip.
To me, cooking's always been easy.
And it is to me, too.
Like, you just follow the directions. If you can follow directions, then you can successfully cook anything.
Michael Whiteside said menu: pizza, sweet ham dip, nachos, bacon cheddar ranch cheese ball.
Sweet ham dip?
That's where you beat me to it.
Yeah.
I was about to say, what is that? That sounds lovely. This is why we were doing this, is so people could throw ideas,
so
and we would
get
go,
good ideas.
Yeah, let's do that.
Right.
Justin Barton said queso dip's a must. Jeremy's had it. Mm-hmm. I have. It's smoked, and it's. We had it at the other
smoked
studio.
Queso dip?
Oh, we had it at the other studio.
Did we?
Oh my God, were you not there?
I don't remember.
Oh. He did say just meat, so maybe you weren't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all in for any type of dip. I mean, I love the 7-layer dip, the taco dip. It's got the refried beans and the guacamole and the olives and
unpopular
cheese
opinion,
and
refried bean, the worst bean.
Oh, definitely.
Unpopular opinion, but
definitely. But that's the only thing I like it in. I don't like refried beans in burritos. I don't like
they
refried
always
beans.
Slather it on there with a fucking cake spatula. Like here's some chicken and some lettuce and a pound of poo.
Right.
Here's your pound of poo. Doesn't it look delicious?
No. That's why I never get burritos when I go to Taco Bell.
Oh, I do.
Never.
God, I love a burrito.
I can't.
Have you ever had a sushi burrito?
No. Holy shit. It's two things that don't go together.
Oh,
do
yeah,
they?
do. Oh, yeah, they do. There's a what is it? Yum Poke Bowl place here in Asheville.
Oh yeah, that's down south side.
Yeah.
What were you doing down there?
They deliver.
Oh, do they?
And,
okay.
It's just the tits. They have the best edamame you'll ever put in your life.
Okay.
I love edamame.
I mean, the best edamame would be a little better than cardboard. I don't like edamame. That's the little beans, right, with the hard shell that you just pull and then you throw the shell away.
Yeah, I'll tell you a fun story about my dumbass, and I've done this twice. The second time I was drunk, and the first time I had never seen edamame before. I thought they were large green beans.
Yeah,
and so I was actually at a business lunch, and they ordered a bowl of them, and I took it, and I just
ate the whole thing.
Nom,
yeah,
nom, nom. And as I'm chewing it, I'm like, this motherfucker tastes like a damn. This tastes like a wax apple.
Right.
And everybody at the table's looking at me going, "Oi, the hell did you just do? You're not supposed to eat that part." Well, they should put that in the instructions.
Right.
Like, tell somebody that.
Scott Cutshall, I think, was the one that introduced me to edamame.
Oh,
and I didn't get it. Like,
what's that
the
place?
Soy sauce or the dipping sauce. It's a vehicle for that. That's it.
I don't dip them in anything. I eat them straight out of the shell. Ugh. Oh, God, they're good.
They don't have any flavor, though.
Oh, yeah, they do. Oh, if they're done right, they do. They should. That's about the only time that I like salt. Because if you do, what is the place down in Biltmore? There's a little Asian place down in Biltmore. It's one of they cook in front of you places.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments.
Ichiban or...
It is Ichiban.
Yoshida's?
Ichiban. Ichiban has the best edamame, hands down. Them and Yum Sushi.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a burrito or a sushi bowl or a poke bowl. Oh, good googly moo.
Yeah. Did he ever explain what sweet ham
he did.
dip is?
It's cherry smoked ham, chopped up, mixed with Miracle Whip shredded cheese. Tastes like heavenly ham dip, but with cheese.
If you
did that with some Dukes,
yeah.
Because here's the thing: there's only one kind of mayonnaise. There's Dukes, and then there's dog shit.
But I guess that's what gives it the sweet. That and the cherry.
By the way,
glaze or whatever that's on the ham.
We have enough people in this place to ask this question. Has anybody ever actually put Miracle Whip on a salad? Because they call it a salad dressing, and I've never figured out why. Somebody has to be putting that on a salad, or they would stop saying that. They would change the label to bullshit mayonnaise substitute.
Oh, yeah.
Who?
I have no idea.
Who are these people?
Don't know.
Jason Trump just said Yum Poke Bowl and Madness are owned by the same people. Of course they are. I didn't know that until now, but two places that bring me that much happiness, of course they're owned by the same people. And I would like to meet those people, and I would love to endorse them.
The only people the only people that I ever knew that used Miracle Whip were my grandparents, and that was just because my grandfather liked the sweet taste of it. He didn't like regular mayonnaise, and so he would make his sandwiches with Miracle Whip, which
Dukes.
it was fine every now and then, but give me Dukes. There's only one kind of mayonnaise, and it's Dukes. That other shit says salad dressing for a reason, and I don't know anybody who's ever put it on a salad.
Curtis Davis said, I thought Jeremy might actually kill Tank the way he stared at him after saying he didn't like edamame. Because I can't figure out.
I just don't get it.
Because you've never had good.
I guess, probably.
I'm telling you right now, the next time I get good, I will bring. And now you're going to have to. You should probably ask HWA to, get
steal me some.
Yeah, steal some out because I will eat them all. Ichiban. I'm telling you right now, they have the best, the best edamame.
Rob Johnson says he puts Miracle Whip on a scrambled egg sandwich. Duke's. It's the only mayonnaise.
I don't like Miracle Whip, but I'd be willing. I love egg sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever put Duke's mayonnaise on an egg sandwich?
Oh, yeah. It's wonderful. I do it all the time.
All right. Just wanted to make sure. You remember that tiger powder I gave you?
Mm-hmm.
Put that on your scrambled eggs. Then put some mayonnaise on toast.
People overdo eggs. Like, eggs are just not that damn difficult. I watch people do this all the time. You make eggs, and they're just it's overdone. Eggs are basic.
What do you mean, overcooked?
No, there's just too much shit in them.
Oh,
no,
you got seasoned eggs.
Yeah, salt and pepper. That's seasoning. And cayenne. They should invariably have cayenne.
You put some of that tiger powder in it, it'll change your life.
Nope.
I promise you.
3 spices. That's all it needs. I got eggs on lock. Look, I ain't good at much, but I got scrambled eggs exactly how Daddy likes them.
Right.
Holt said, here's a question for the Southerners. Have you ever had the old school pear dessert?
Yes.
Take a can of pear halves, put a dollop of Duke's mayo on it, and top it with cheddar cheese.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds very odd.
It's wonderful. I love it. My dad used to make that for me all the time. It's a thing that he used to have when he was a kid, and you can make it with the pears, you can make it with peaches, and it's just as good. I'm a big fan.
People do weird things with pears.
What else are you going to do with them?
Eat them. Fucking eat them out of the can. Just down them sumbitches. Oh, God. Hell yeah. I will down a can of peaches like Jenna Jameson in the Lakers locker room. Like, just gross. I mean, they don't even exist after 10 seconds. You should have known that because what do I consume every single day?
Oh, the pear, yeah.
Pear juice. That's what this is, and it's wonderful. Speaking of which. Bang. You just, one of these days I'm going to convince them to sponsor us.
That'd be great.
If I just show up there and be like, hey, you don't even have to pay me. Just pay me in cans of pear happiness.
All right, so Jason Trump says a little cornstarch in your scrambled eggs.
I've actually heard that before. So a lot of people put milk in scrambled eggs.
Yeah, makes them fluffier.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. That's actually a fucking myth.
Really?
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay screams at people for doing that. And I don't remember what it does, but it does something and increases the chance that you're either going to undercook them or overcook them. Because I did it forever. And then I watched him make scrambled eggs, and I went, oh, well, that's real easy. That's just super easy.
But he puts he puts creme fraiche in his.
He does.
Yeah.
But you don't, and you're also not supposed to season eggs until the end.
Right.
Because the salt will suck out the moisture, and then they're dry.
They'd be flat, dry eggs, yeah.
God, I wish I had that. I put that knife up to her throat and told her, Arlene, tired of eating slimy, sloppy eggs. You best be frying them eggs a little better.
Oh gosh. Anyhow, so we're all having pear salad for Super Bowl.
I can't. I don't remember who it was. I gotta.
If you could make yourself get past because the mental block for a lot of people. Of like, if the mayonnaise not mixed into whatever it is, I don't know that I could eat it. I mean, if you just cut a little piece and just get you a little mayonnaise on it, it'll be great.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't get over mental blocks.
Then chop it up. You chop up the pears and then just swirl them around in the mayonnaise and cheese.
Or I just eat the pears.
You can just eat the pears. It's good that way too.
I don't like the weird things that people do with mayonnaise. Like peanut butter and mayonnaise and banana sandwiches. Like, why on the hell would you do that?
No, there's no mention for Hellman's. Hellman's is not real mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Duke's only.
Dukes.
And I'm sorry that you can't get it where you live, but you know what? Make arrangements, and
Matthew Hoffman lives here.
Yeah, we'll ship you some.
Where in the hell can you not get Duke's mayonnaise?
He says in Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently he's in Pennsylvania. So.
Well, Matthew Hoffman lives here, so he must be from Pennsylvania.
Maybe.
Really? I didn't know they didn't have Dukes in Pennsylvania. But then again, I'll be honest with you. I love Dukes, but if you don't tell me what it is, as long as it's not Miracle Whip, I ain't going to notice. If you put it on a sandwich, I'll never know the friggin' difference.
I will.
I just don't care. Kraft mayonnaise? Hell, Amy got a tub of that for something not long ago, and I went, it's still mayonnaise. Still better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Hoffman is, you have met him multiple times.
Mm-hmm. He said he was in Pennsylvania, so that's all I said. That's
From
all
Pennsylvania.
Or that he couldn't get it in Pennsylvania. So
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that was everywhere.
Duke's mayonnaise?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't surprise me. I've only lived in the South, so I don't know. I've only lived in Atlanta, Charleston, Memphis, and here.
John DeLon said, does Dukes refuse to ship north of the Mason-Dixon line? You know, now that I wouldn't have thought that, but now that it's been said, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. I mean,
I believe their catch line is put some south in your mouth.
Yep. It used to be.
believe.
Now it's got twang, which is weird.
It does. It's a delicious twang.
It's just weird. Nachos are a staple for your Super Bowl party.
Secret time? I don't love nachos.
Why? Because they get soggy at the bottom?
Because people don't do them right. Do nachos better, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Don't just throw some chips on a tray and then dump shit on top of it. Layer that shit, okay? Just layers. Not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Not that hard. I do it. Because I don't want to just eat a chip. I want a chip with happiness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's all in how you eat the food. I mean, you can pull a chip from the bottom and dip it in the stuff at the top.
Yeah, but now that's work. That's why I wanted nachos. Now it's a dip.
He just wants it straight in in his face.
Yeah, now it's a dip, and that's bullshit. I mean, I like dips.
Right.
Secret time, that's usually how I make nachos. I just put all the stuff in a bowl. By the way, you ever had breakfast nachos?
I want them now.
Oh.
With like sausage and cheese and eggs and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I did it let's see. I think it's while I was, right before I got Rona over Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to make breakfast burritos. Yeah, I don't know how to roll a burrito. I'm not good at it.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't think it's that hard. You just put the stuff in the middle, you fold the two sides, and then roll it up.
Yeah, but here's the problem. I load too much shit, and then it breaks apart, and I'm like, oh, fuck!
Well, yeah, you can't do that. You can't put more shit than the burrito can hold.
Yeah, but I want to.
I mean, you can't just get soft tacos either. You can't get those little tiny tortillas. You got to get the big burrito tortillas.
I do.
Okay.
But
you still put too much shit in it. Okay. Well, that's a you problem. I don't see
for
how
me,
you can't get past that.
just a chip by itself, you just throw some salsa on that bad boy. By the way, if you don't have some form of salsa, and okay, none of that like paste picante bullshit, good salsa. There's way too much good for you to be, okay.
Usually when I'm putting out a spread for a party or a Super Bowl or sporting event of some kind, I'm always going to have at least 3 dips of something. Even if it's just French onion dip with some plain-ass chips or corn chips with the refried bean dip.
Oh, John DeLon said I used to put crushed up Doritos and jalapenos in my scrambled eggs in college.
Ooh. That sounds interesting.
That's 3 things that I like. I don't really think there's a food that what the best breakfast nachos are chilaquiles with some runny eggs on top. I do like a good, just gross, runny ass egg.
Chilaquila?
That was written.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure what that is, but
no clue. But I do love salsa. There's a La Carreta. It's Mexican restaurant chain up here. They have the best standard salsa I have ever eaten. Amy and I go in there like once every other week just to get a big tub of it. So good. It's so good.
So good.
I also just discovered cauliflower crust pizza. Some bitch. Also, probably still not PhD approved, but
nah.
Cheese. I don't think.
I am going to make me some Braunschweiger dip.
Oh,
that
God.
stuff is so good.
I have never liked crispy crusted pizza. That cauliflower shit. Oh, mama. It just hits different.
Yep.
I don't know what's different about it, but it's fantastic. And if I didn't tell you, you would have no clue. You can get them at Aldi for $2.
I need to try this.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, they are unbelievable. I just had one the other night. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Amy stopped at Aldi. She got 2 pizzas. She's like, should I just cook the second one? And I went, well, can I have as much as I did the last time you did this? Because you weren't really hungry and you just had to slipped off yourself two pieces. And I ate the rest.
Michael Whiteside says dips, chips, and pretzels.
I'm going to say something that's not real popular here.
Go
I don't
ahead.
like pretzels.
I don't either.
I don't like pretzels.
I mean, it depends.
There's a path. Kevin Vick's lovely wife that works here at iHeart with us, she just ordered some peanut butter filled pretzels. They're lovely. Got a little gloop of peanut butter in them.
Right.
Those are fine. I don't like a pretzel by itself.
I don't either.
I don't love salt.
See, I like salt, but it's something about the pretzel that I just don't. I mean, I got to have something to dip it in.
Ooh. Pineapple black bean salsa.
Yeah.
Patrick Holt said you can also deep fry cauliflower and eat it like a boneless wing. Funny you should say that. The Village Porch, which is a little bar that's very close to where I live, they do that. And it is awesome. I could eat 1,000 of them damn things. Ooh, I'd have to do that Sunday. Sunday, I'm doing a 7-round mock draft. So there are 3 things I can tell you about me Sunday. I'm not going to be the greatest company ever. 2, I will not put on pants at all.
Okay.
3, I will probably end up just
that's the sound the bear makes.
Drunk.
Yeah.
Just housed. just learn shit about yourself drunk.
Just sitting there by your lonesome doing your draft.
Oh no, I mean Amy will be there too. She has other things to do Sunday. I don't know. I told her I was doing a 7-round mock draft, and she went, "Oh, I have other plans."
Yeah.
And I went.
She looked at you and went, "I have to poop. I have to poop that day."
Yeah, I have to wash my hair that day because I don't want to sit around and watch you yell at your little legal pads.
Yeah.
I will tell you this: if you went into my office in my house and all you saw was my draft prep, you would think that you had walked into the den of the Unabomber. I mean, you'd call the FBI.
Absolutely.
There's a reason that Amy hides these things in
because
her
it's
house.
not healthy.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be like, okay, there's a manifesto in here somewhere. Where is his anger at the government? Especially if you watch this show and realize how much I hate the government. Oh, good Lord. I'd be on a no-fly list in 10 seconds.
Yep. Michael Whiteside says the pretzels with the ham dip or a bacon cheddar cheese ball.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing about that I said about the things Holt said. Those are all wonderful. Those are all wonderful words, and together they sound tremendous.
And Trump says Aldi's has some bar pretzels dusted in onion and something else. Is that the Snyder's makes these are the pretzels that I do like. Snyder's makes those little
soft pretzel.
No. These are like the hard little pieces, the pretzel pieces, and there's honey mustard and onion flavored. Wonderful.
I've had those. Those are fine.
Those are wonderful.
I'm okay with those.
There's also a cheddar cheese version, but I don't like those as good as the honey mustard onion.
That's another way I'll eat a pretzel, in a combo.
Oh, yeah, combos. Way to go.
Nobody has ever gone to a grocery store and gone, fuck yeah, combos. Every person has gone to a gas station and gone, fuck yeah, combos. I would love to see a breakdown of the sales of a combo. Because I bet they're 95% in convenience stores. Because I've never bought a bag of those in a grocery store.
I'm sure they are.
It's
what is
like
the best combo?
Jerky. Oh, there was a buffalo. The
buffalo blue cheese.
Man, I'm thinking the wrong thing. There was one that had ranch.
Okay.
Because I don't know that was TGI Fridays thing. It was a potato crisp or some shit like that.
Okay.
Because I don't like potato chips.
Oink.
I like them on a sandwich. You will never see me eat a potato chip by itself.
This is true.
The only reason I ever eat potato chips is to be the crunchy with a sandwich.
Yes. I can attest to that because I remember one time I brought you a sandwich and didn't have no chips and you pouted like a little baby.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, where's my chips? I didn't give you chips. I need chips. He was pissed off the rest of the day because I didn't get him chips with his Sammy.
Yeah. Look, there's not many things in this life that I got to have one. If I'm going to have one, I got to have the other. I got to have something crunchy with a sandwich.
Right.
And I'm not going to lie. You throw a cracker in that sumbitch if you need to, but it's got to have something.
Mm-hmm.
Best combo. What is the best combo? Oh, it's the pizza. Yeah, it's pizza.
Pizzeria.
Yeah, I had to think about it.
Yeah, it's not even close. Pizzeria combos are absolutely the best.
God, we've talked about pizza a lot.
We have.
I want, and I just had it. Like I just ate a whole cauliflower pizza.
Yeah, I'm good.
So good.
Last weekend ruined me on pizza as well. Like,
how? You didn't eat shit.
I did. I ate like 7 pieces of pizza.
Well,
between the 2 games.
That's your own damn fat ass fault. How the hell did you eat that much? We had a whole pizza left over.
We had 4 a game, and I think I only ate half of one piece.
We had 4 for the 2 games.
No, we had 4 in the first game and 4 in the second game.
But they were the same pizza. I'm saying there were 4 pizzas.
Yes.
Total.
Yes.
Well, there's a whole pizza left over.
Mm-hmm.
And then some.
I mean, I ate a piece of pizza for every time we did it. I ate a piece of pizza, except for one I only ate half.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even kind of. That Domino's got 2 bites from me. And I'll be honest with you, by the time it was cold.
Right. But
Curtis Davis said, wait, there are other combos besides pizza?
There are.
It's news to me, too.
There's the cheese, there's the pretzel. So the cheese and the cracker with the cracker outside, and then there's the pretzel outside with peanut butter in the middle. And then they did have a buffalo blue cheese one.
Yeah, I would never get that because it was blue cheese.
And then they have the pizza filled ones.
Gross.
I think there have been more than that, but yeah, there are lots of different flavors of combos.
You know, one of these days I'm going to figure out how to sit in my chair where, I don't have to sit up and my back hurt by the end of this. Because right now I'd really like to just cut the fucking base off my monitor so I could sit right here. Because this is quite relaxed talking. Mm-hmm. This is much better than
just
what I've
lean
been
it on back.
Yeah, just keep going. Hell, maybe eventually I just.
Oh, the 7-layer dip combos. Those were good too. Taco flavored. Had all of the flavors of a 7-layer dip in them. God, they were good.
I don't remember that.
That was a limited time thing.
I'm not gonna lie. After I worked for Budweiser, there was a time where I would not buy anything that came out of a gas station. I will go to my grave not saying where this was because it's a place that many of you frequent.
Mm-hmm.
I found a box of beef jerky on a shelf in a very large gas station that if it was a child, it would have all of its teeth and it would be able to speak past its expiration on a shelf.
Yep. Oh, Frankie Cleary, that's not true. He says I'm falling out of love with food, and that's true. That's not true. I'm not falling out of love with food. I'm falling out of love with bad food. And I consider that to be a win because I have had a bad relationship with bad food since the moment I was born. So the fact that Jeremy has, and not just Jeremy, I blame you guys too, for getting us into the hamburger smorgasbord that we had 3 weeks ago and the pizza smorgasbord that we had last week. Like, I love good pizza, like that Pizza Hut fiery pizza that we had, the spicy lovers pizza. That was good. And I'll have another piece of it, but it's going to be a long time. I just can't do things like that anymore. Like I have not looked at a burger and went, "Damn, I want one of those," since we did the burger challenge.
God.
I was so glad that I was on this side of the desk and I never really looked at your lunch today because I think that would have made my stomach hurt.
Oh, so good. It was so good.
It's just all the things that I'm not supposed to have. I have been able to stay away from them, other than our little challenges. And to me, that's fine. To me, it's only going to help because, I don't know what the count is now. How many ever weeks we have left on our program till we reach our goal, like 30 weeks or something. Then when that happens, I'm going to be ready for a hamburger, I'm sure.
Oh, I mean, good Lord, I love hamburgers.
Mm-hmm.
In the comments, I saw it, and then I went away from it. Curtis Davis asked if there was anybody from the East-West Shrine Bowl that Ty Chandler from North Carolina was pretty good. Pierre Strong, the running back out of South Dakota State, he had a quality game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if there was any other big takeaways. I don't put a lot of stock in that because the vast majority of those the guys in that game are either UDFAs
mm-hmm.
or maybe 7th, 6th round guys. So I don't take as much into that. Charleston Rambo had a reasonably good week from what I was told. I'm just looking through the roster, trying to trigger my memory to see if there was anybody else I've been told about.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Deese Jr. is a tight end out of San Jose State that I've heard now he was probably going to be a priority free agent. He probably falls somewhere in that 5th to 6th round.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just off this week. He's been going up boards a little bit anyway. Jermaine Waller was the best player in that game by a mile. I still think there is a path to him being drafted in the first round.
Really? Okay.
I'm telling you, if you need a corner, this is a good damn draft. This is a great time to be alive if you're in need of cornerback help.
Absolutely.
Also a good year to need a running back. We just did this week, but I'm telling you right now, between the 2 college all-star games one's already happened and one will happen tomorrow, there have been a lot of running backs that are screaming up boards.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if there was anybody else that, there was a kid that's from the Senior Bowl. That's a kid that I'll talk about tomorrow. Those were my biggest takeaways without, deep diving.
Yeah.
And eventually I will deep dive on it. But like I said, I don't put a ton into that game.
Yeah, I have never had any interest in that game. I've rarely ever had any interest in the Senior Bowl.
Oh, you should have interest. If you're going to be a draft person, you have to have interest in the Senior Bowl.
Right.
Because that is the only college all-star game where you can really glean things from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody asked me about the Hula Bowl. That's one of those that, I make deals with media guys that are out there like, hey, what'd you see?
Yeah. That's
because 9 times out of 10, it's, McKinney, and this is exactly what happened this week, or what happened with this one too. Mackenzie Milton had a great week. If the NFL draft was 50 rounds long, Mackenzie Milton would not get drafted.
Mm-hmm. Those are USFL guys.
Oh, yeah. And I haven't done this in a while, but there was a time that I would, buy notebooks and shit. I would buy copies of notebooks from guys that were out there for the week. XFL comes along. That's usually where any information on that I have. Because most of those guys have absolutely no shot at getting drafted. I mean, the thing I'll say, where did my... Around here somewhere!
What you looking for? Oh, your roster?
Yeah, I was looking for my numerical roster for tomorrow. I could probably count on one hand the number of guys between both rosters at the Senior Bowl that I don't think get drafted.
Okay.
You know, I mean, and then you look at a guy like a Damone Clark from LSU. Apparently, half the industry thinks he's the number one linebacker in this draft.
Really?
I don't agree with it. I personally have Devin. For me, it would be Devin Lloyd. Nakobe Dean's just so damn short. But I mean, I like the tape on him, and I like Damone Clark. I see a difference between the two.
Right.
But now he's a kid that I've got stuff pulled for him for tomorrow. You know, we'll probably talk 5 solid minutes about Damone Clark.
And that'll be tomorrow at 2:30 right here in the Sportsocracy. You could join Jeremy and David Smith of Armchair Commentary. They'll be doing the live reactions of the game, taking your questions. Any guy in the game that you want talked about, you just throw them out in the chat box, and they will get to it.
I have stuff pulled on it. Literally, there is no kid on this here roster that you could ask me about that I don't know at least something about.
Oh, Frankie Cleary. I don't know what broccolini is, but I'm guessing that's shredded broccoli?
No. It's a little poco.
Oh, it's little tiny broccolis.
It's very good.
All right. I do a lot of sautéed vegetables now. I mean, that's a great thing that I've found about, you know, any type of a program. Like, I don't say no to foods, which has always been my problem. But when vegetables are my thing, I'll find any way, and I like Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. I probably have Brussels sprouts 2 times a week now. Love them.
I eat salad all the time.
But that sounds wonderful.
A huge salad fan.
Because I'm a big fan of aspergas, and whatever a broccolini is, I'll go look for it.
A broccolini. Patrick Holt asked if there were any state guys at the Senior Bowl, and I don't think there are.
I went through the roster earlier today and was just highlighting all of the you see all those names I got highlighted? Those are guys that I as a dum-dum in draft have interest in that are playing in this game. And no, I've not seen an NC State guy on there.
No, he asked about a Mezzi. Mezzi played in the East-West game. I mean, there's a lot of guys from this state that are playing in this game.
Well, I mean, you got Sam Howell's in it.
Isaiah Likely's in it. DeMarco Jackson from Appalachian State's in it. I'm trying to think of the other ones I can remember off the top of my head.
I thought there was more than that.
Oh, there might be. There's more ACC guys. I think that's the only North Carolina guys. I know Eric Barre from South Carolina's in it, but does not apply to the state.
There are a couple of guys from Tennessee in it. There's one dude, Cole Strange. I read a report on him earlier today that he is from UT Chattanooga, and apparently he's a center, and he's been turning heads at Senior Bowl. So
there are a couple small school linemen that we're going to talk about tomorrow. One of whom had a ridiculous week and got compared to Quinn Miners a bunch of times.
Ooh.
Only thing is he didn't go full shuts out, guts out with his little cutoff.
Right.
Longest yard cheerleader shirt.
The longest yard cheerleader shirt.
Yeah.
Awesome. Brussels sprouts shaved for a salad. Give you a nice crunch. Thank you for that, Jason Trump. Be sure to try that.
There's a food that comes from PhD that are these little ranch balls. They're the best crouton.
Yes, they are.
Even once I lose the weight. Can I just drop ship those? Because they are lovely.
See? Here they are right here. The little ranch protein chips. Wonderful.
Frankie Cleary asked, what's everyone doing for dinner? I can tell you, because I've been thinking about it all fucking day.
Yep.
My wife bought 2 big, fat ass New York strips and I'm going to eat nothing with it. I'm just going to eat the shit out of it.
There you go.
It's going to be wonderful.
I'm going to have protein and something. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't do the planning. I don't do the planning of my meals.
I'm not much of a planner.
Mm-mm.
You can always tell who dinner was left up to because Amy has these, elaborate cooking, things, and I end up stopping for a salad or at Chipotle because Chipotle's on the way home.
Yeah.
Still pissed, and I protested Chipotle for the longest time because they got rid of my cauliflower rice. Still pissed off about that. I don't like rice.
Oh, Frankie Cleary's having shrimp and grits with pimento cheese.
I've had grits exactly one time in my life. That grits was actually the first weird thing that I ever said. Patrick Holt, 100% with you.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
The first weird thing I ever said was that I'd never had grits. And Pressbox Seth, our old producer, was like, "What the?" And he made me go to the restaurant that his brother was cooking at, and he made me a bowl of grits. To this day, the only bowl of grits I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, and they weren't bad. I said I don't like salt and I like pepper. So Justin loaded them with pepper, and I went, well, nobody else is probably ever going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably make that the only bowl of those I ever have. I didn't dislike them, but I didn't like them so much that I ever wanted to really do it again.
Shrimp and grits is one of my favorites. Like I will go to if I go to a restaurant somewhere near the beach, I'm finding me one place to go get shrimp and grits somewhere.
Clarence Engel asked in the comments, who are the quarterback starters in the Senior Bowl? I can't tell you who's going to start the game. The listed starters from the roster that I got sent to me were Sam Howell and Kenny Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
I could see a path. Malik Willis and Sam Howell are on the same team. That's one of those things that you tend to get asked, like, "Hey, could you maybe play the best guys in the first quarter so we can see them against each other?"
Right.
Doesn't always work out that way. I don't know if the Lions and the Jets will do it that way, but it happens that way from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it's probably Howell and Pickett. Pickett will be the starter on the other side.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember which two are on it's Carson Strong and Desmond Ridder.
Mm-hmm. And Desmond Ritter's been awful.
Desmond Ridder has sucked a bunch.
And I think it should only make sense that Sam Howell and Kenny Pickett start out this game because they gave us a hell of a game in the ACC earlier this year.
They did. And Patrick Holt,
I'm your huckleberry,
asked, can we have a country road send-off?
Older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze, country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads.
One day we'll have to actually sing that when we line it up to a place where I don't get bitched at by copyright people for doing that.
That's right. Hey, you join us next Sunday at the Social in East Asheville for the Super Bowl, and I bet they'll let us do it. I bet they'll let us all sing it together.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. On the stage at the Social next Sunday night.
Oh, I have almost no doubt that they will let us do that.
Absolutely. So that's a good way to do it. We'll give you details on how you can join us at the Social coming up.
John DeLon said my neighbor's hound dog just started howling. He was singing along.
Yeah, he loves it.
Even dogs love that song. Anybody that doesn't love that song, terrorist.
Pretty much.
Straight up.
Pretty much. So anyway, we'll give you more details on how you can join us to watch the game at the Social coming up next Sunday. Tomorrow, 2:30, Senior Bowl. The live reaction live stream will be right here with Jeremy and David Smith of Armchair Commentary. And we will be, of course, back with you on Monday at 3 o'clock, all of us. I will not see you there. I'll be in the chat tomorrow as Jeremy and David are doing the Senior Bowl thing, but I'm going to enjoy some time at home tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow should be fun because this will be the first one of these that David and I've ever done, and it's going to be like a couple trying to figure out who's going to lead when they slow dance. Because we are both not him. He's the handle the bullshit and pat me on the head and go, here, you do your things now.
Right.
I don't do rejoiners and shit like that. So this could be interesting.
It could be fun.
I think David actually does that. Job. I think he has far more experience doing that than I do.
Oh yeah, he's got the chops. I'm not worried about it at all. And like I said, we will tomorrow 2:30 for the Senior Bowl. We'll see you back here at 3 on Monday. Everybody have a great weekend. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene, and we will see you next time.